In terms of place kicker, but George doing most of the kickoff duties for San Diego State. Aztecs 4-6, 2-5, and like Fresno State, well, the break here or there, they could have been headed for a bowl game. I think it was pointed out that Fresno State, had it not been for a couple of missed field goals and the safety against BYU, who knows? The Dogs could be bowling in 1994, but that's not the case, and right now trying to beat the Aztecs here in San Diego. This one rolls out of bounds, so they can take it at the 35-yard line, or they can have a 5-yard penalty and make them re-kick, as the Dogs will get things going offensively. And certainly we saw last week some of the changes made with Jason James moving back to a tackle spot. That matchup worked out pretty well, as Richie Donati, the quarterback, who played so well against Colorado State after an inconsistent night against UTEP, but he was on the money against the Bulldogs.
What you saw in the kickoff was the Aztecs kicking the ball away. They'll take the ball at the 35, but pick up on that. The Aztecs kicking away from the nation's leading kickoff returner, David Dunn. They don't want him to have the opportunity to run one back. He hasn't done it all year, but he's bound and determined to try and break one this evening. Coming back home, we'll tell you a little bit more about coming home for David Dunn.
Out of bounds, you run the risk of the Dogs taking to the 35, and they do. Donati throws. The pass complete to Jones, a gain of about 8. Jones being pushed back, made reference to the Dogs. And speaking of CSU, the Rams last week, a team that came back in the second half to beat Fresno State. We'll take a look at the Dogs offensively. Oliver, Brown, Roberson, Jones, and Dunn. Reggie Brown played very well last week against Colorado State. David Dunn is the wide receiver. Michael Carr, Brian Malcolm, Gary Osmondson the center, Mueller, and James up front. So again, James at the tackle spot. That worked out well, and they'll have the tough duty going against Duff and Glover, the strong left side of the defensive line for the Aztecs. On second down and short, they get the first down. Oliver the carry straight ahead. First down, Fresno State.
We talked about Jamal Duff and Leroy Glover. That is the key matchup for the Bulldogs. Their offensive line has to handle those guys and keep them out of the ballgame.
Yeah, Duff, Glover, Tom, and Blake. Duff and Glover are the good ones. Glover all whack.
Well, Glover's so strong inside, you know, and Duff 6'7". He's a big guy outside. You got to throw the ball over him.
Moore, McChristian, that's a true freshman, McChristian, Parker, and Sutton, the secondary. First down and 10, ball at the 46-yard line. Donati wants to put up in the air with the play fake. He has some time throwing long downfield, looking for Roberson. He's got it, and he goes down inside the 5-yard line. A terrific catch by Brian Roberson on a perfectly thrown ball by Richie Donati.
Absolutely on target. Brian Roberson getting ahead, beating the defender, will take in the pass, perfectly thrown. Watch him make his just sprint. Man-to-man defense is what San Diego State plays most of the game, and Fresno State feels that they can beat man-to-man coverage with the receivers they have, and there you see that. One thing we're going to see tonight down here in this situation is a new formation for Fresno State. 3 guys in the backfield. We'll be looking for that somewhere down the line as well when they get close to the goal line.
Right now, out of the eye, Brown, the fullback, and the tailback. The carry goes to Oliver. He punches it in. Touchdown, Fresno State. We played less than a minute and a half when the Dogs on the board. A 5-yard carry after the 49-yard pass to Donati, getting it down to Roberson. So the Dogs striking early here in the first quarter.
And so far the game plan working to perfection. They started off with a quick 3-step drop and the short pass outside. Then we're able to run the ball with Jerome Oliver. You hit the big one to Brian Roberson and score the touchdown. Here's Oliver, and he is now Fresno State's all-time single season leader in rushing attempts. That's, I believe, number 250. He passes Aaron Craver on the all-time list.
And the PAT, it is there. And with 13:33 left in the first quarter here from San Diego. And it's the Dogs 7, San Diego State nothing. Back to Jack Murphy Stadium right after this. The Dogs have the early lead here from San Diego. By the way, a catch in that drive. And the drive by just 4 plays, 65 yards, a minute 27. Charlie Jones, 17th straight game with the catch. Congratulations to Charlie Jones. First team all-WAC performer. This kick dribbles by one of the up-backs, picked up at the 20-yard line, and wisely down in it there rather than take too many chances. So they'll have it at the 20-yard line, the Aztecs will. And we'll keep tabs on this offense. Again, while it's no huddle, telling us earlier, Leon Burnett said Billy Blanton, who is a skilled quarterback, although he's young, but it's not as many problems as you might expect when you hear, oh, no huddle offense for the entire game.
No, he'll take a signal from the sideline, and he'll kind of wander around a little bit and bark out some numbers to his guys. They won't really run up there and blast it unless maybe they get down near the goal line situation.
4 receivers off to the right side. The pass complete, taken by Maxwell, and he's ridden out of bounds, but after a gain of almost 10 yards. D. Maxwell out of Bullard High in Fresno, knocked out of bounds and rolled out by the Dogs. As you see, the Aztecs, Maxwell, Pittman, Blackwell, Shear, and Smith. A lot of depth in the wide receiving core. Ewert, Rowe, Peterson, Finch, and Turley. 2 and 5 in the WAC. 2nd down and 1. Blanton gives the ball to Pittman, and he is short of the first down. Wayne Pittman, second team All-WAC, and Andre Deshay the stop. Defensively, the line, Rockwell, Edwards, and Danny Williams. The linebackers, Kasner, Griggs, Papazian, and Deshay. And again, with Smith out, there really is no depth at all. Smith will not play. Wells, Green, Stoutmeyer, and Thomas in the secondary. 3rd down and 1. The give to Pittman. He has the first down. Chugs his way across to the 35-yard line. 2 years ago, filled in for Marshall Falk and broke his leg in that wild, emotional game here at Jack Murphy Stadium. Ron Papazian and on the stop for the Dogs.
Now you notice the Aztecs get right up to the line, and the quarterback is the guy who's bringing in the signal and kind of relaying out to his receivers.
Lots of changes as Blanton drops it off, taken by Hakeem. And Hakeem takes off at the 50-yard line, fumbles the football. Loose ball recovered by Fresno State. The Dogs come up with it, finally brought down at the 30-yard line. Rio Wells recovers.
It's one of San Diego State's most popular plays, the middle screen, and then I think that was Lance Thomas that forced the fumble. You see Wells picks it up and does a good job to hang on to the football. Here we see it. There is number 7, Lance Thomas, stripping him of the football, forcing the fumble. A big play by the senior playing his last game for the Bulldogs. And there's Wells, one of the guys who's going to be counted on heavily next year.
So the Dogs get the takeaway here in the first quarter, leading 7-0. Now start from the 30-yard line. Their second possession. Jones and Dunn off to the right. Roberson left. Reggie Brown to the 30, the 35. Good second and third effort running by Brown. He dives across the 35, a gain of almost 6. Played very well last week against the Rams.
Oh, this is terrific to see this guy run like this. You want to have him healthy for an entire season next year, and there's no telling what he can do. Teamed with Jerome Oliver back there.
And Brown had lost some weight earlier this year and running much better. Strong and physical. Craigus Thompson on the tackle for the Aztecs. 2nd down and 5. Roberson done right. Rochelle to the left on the draw. Brown again tripped up, upended nicely. Good job by Roger Blake, the right end, to trip him up. See Blake with the hands up in the air.
Blake just kind of submarined in there and then blew up the whole play. Tripped up Reggie Brown on the play for the stop.
So the Dogs and Donati look at a 3rd down and 4. For the offensive coach, the coordinator, Jeff Tedford, was very high on the performance last week of Richie Donati. Dogs just couldn't hang on, beaten by the Rams. As CSU gets the WAC title. 3rd down and 4. The pass thrown out of bounds. Receiver was done. So the Dogs will be punting the ball in their second possession.
Getting back to Donati, he learned a lot in the El Paso game, the previous game. He made some mistakes. He read coverages and changed plays, and then the coverage changed, and he did not adjust. So he watched film on the UTEP game, learned a lot, and was able to apply it against Colorado State.
Played so well against the Rams as John Brown gets this punt off barely and booms a beautiful punt. Driven back to the 13-yard line. Heading upfield, Peterson, and brought down to the 22. So the Dogs on defense leading by a score of 7-0. A 52-yard punt, a 10-yard return. And don't forget, tomorrow at 1, right here at Jack Murphy Stadium, Jerome Bettis and the LA Rams try to bull through Junior Seau and the playoff-bound San Diego Chargers. The NFL on Fox right here on KMPH.
Perhaps soon to be the St. Louis Rams.
Who knows, yeah. Fine offers dangled out in front. Penalty flag. has been thrown. By the way, our referee is Tom Robinson tonight.
Illegal block in the back against the receiver. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Illegal block in the back, half the distance to the goal line. Illegal block in the back of the receiver. But that obviously penalty benefits Fresno State. He said to the receiver, but apparently against Fresno State. Penalty after a 52-yard punt. Beauty boomed out by Brown. Ted Tollner, you see the mustachioed fellow next to him. That was Kraft, Tom Kraft, out of Palomar Junior College down here. He is the offensive coordinator. And now first down and 10 at the 12-yard line. Pass complete, taken by Maxwell on the right flat, gets away, moves away from Stoudemire and climbs up to near the 19-yard line.
Same way they started their first drive, and not a good open field tackle there by Omar Stoudemire. This is the play he needs to make.
That has been a bugaboo, really, Ralph, for the Dogs for much of this year when they've had the guys in position to make the tackle. For whatever reason, they can't get it done. A lot of missed tackles this season.
Coaches are just tearing their hair out because there have been so many missed tackles from this team.
On second down and 2, Pittman has the first down to the 30-yard line. Veers back to the middle and brought down at the 34. Nice run by Wayne Pittman. Stopped by the free safety, Lance Thomas.
And a nice, solid tackle by Lance Thomas. The fundamental, the technique was there. We'll take another look at it and see Lance Thomas deliver the blow if we have time before they get the playoff.
Yeah, the no-huddle offense.
Huge hole. Gets out, away from the grasp, and there is lowering the boot.
Overton the carry on the right side, sweeping the corner to the short side of the field, has the first down. Out of bounds near the 45-yard line. Ken Overby, running back, fills in for Pittman occasionally. There is Kraft, the offensive coordinator. Had a lot of success in the junior college ranks. Some folks surprised the fact that he does not wear the headset, does not communicate all the time with the coaches up in the press box. Out of the no-huddle offense for the entire game, except perhaps in situations inside the 10-yard line. Pittman doesn't have much. Gain of maybe 1.
Guys in the middle just kind of clogged that up with a good play. You're talking about Ted Tollner. This is a guy who's trying to really install a winning attitude down here. He says that's the biggest problem with San Diego State football. These guys need to be mentally tough. They need to win the close games in the fourth quarter that they have not been winning, and that takes mental toughness.
Now on a second down and 10, Blanton being chased by Edwards, gets the pass off, complete to Pittman. Pittman close to the first down. He does get the first down and finally stopped at the 41. Boy, with pressure bearing down, Blanton got the pass off in time. And Papazian the tackle as he stops Pittman, but a first down for the Aztecs.
And again, you're seeing some of the problems on the Fresno State defensive side. Pittman is wide open. That's obviously a blown assignment as he takes the pass. And then Rio Wells is not going to make the tackle here. He's just going to bounce right off of him and pick up another 5 yards.
Shear off to the right side on the play fake. Blanton steps up, throwing long downfield for Shear. He has his man beat. Makes the catch. Touchdown, Aztecs. Shear beat his man with a good speed, and the Aztecs get on the board. Curtis Shear with his 6th touchdown reception. Ted Tollner's team. And in the PAT will be tying it. Shear's second team. All whack.
And they went after Wells again after he got popped in the mouth on that running play. They beat him deep, and Omar Stoudemire trying to cover over there. Too late to help.
And this is Matt George on the PAT. They've gone back and forth between George and Holt, particularly the last few games. No problem here for George. He converts. And with 10 minutes remaining here in the first quarter from Jack Murphy Stadium, this one is tied. And we could be in for another shootout tonight here at Jack Murphy Stadium. The Dogs and the Aztecs. Hey, don't forget, each Wednesday night on the 10 o'clock news, watch Bulldog coach Gary Colson preview each upcoming game on the Coach's Corner, brought to you by the Pacific Bell Smart Yellow Pages. So the Aztecs got a big first down. And they got the pass off Pittman, taking it from Blanton. And then quickly going to Shear, the favorite wide receiver, Blanton. And this game tied. David Dunn to the 15, to the 25. Dunn to the 30, make it the 31-yard line. Nice return by David Dunn. Here's the touchdown by Blanton, hitting
just a straight drop, and Shearer is going to be open, beating real well. As you see Omar Stoutmeyer coming over to try and help out from the safety position, but he was wide open.
And a fine return by the nation's leading kick returner as David Dunn gets it to the 31-yard line. Tied at 7. 9:52 left in this, the first quarter, from Jack Murphy Stadium. Jones right, Roberson left. Brown and Oliver in the backfield. Fortier's the tight end. On the play fake, steps up and throws, and it's incomplete. There was pressure. In fact, it might have been deflected. Julius McChristian was back providing coverage as he almost got a hand on that ball, got into the backfield, making it more difficult for the quarterback Donati. McChristian, the freshman, one of two freshmen starting. On second down and 10. Play fake again. Donati throws. It's complete. Dunn has it. First down, Fresno State. To the 48-yard line. Leaping catch by Dunn. And give Donati credit as he stepped up in front of a lot of pressure and got the pass off.
We touched on it earlier. David Dunn is one of the truly inspired players here tonight. This is his home, San Diego. He was an all-city player at Morse High School. Talking about his kickoff returns, I asked him earlier in the week, you have not run one all the way back yet. Wouldn't it be nice to take one back 99 yards? He said, I want to take one back 109 yards. I'll take it back from anywhere.
Dunn, again, tops in the nation in kick returns. Jerome Oliver slicing through. And boy, after the ball was given off one of the Aztecs, and it was the lineman, Leroy Glover, thought that the quarterback Donati had it. He drove Donati into the turf. Meanwhile, the ball was taken up near the line of scrimmage.
Well, that's one of the pitfalls of a good fake.
Yeah. Glover didn't buy it. He was convinced Donati had it and drove him into the turf. Donati says he's all right, but some oohs and ahs. Certainly the Fresno State sideline not happy about that. Second down and 9. Three-step drop. We'll see a lot of that tonight by the Dogs. Jones makes the catch, heads upfield. Jones goes out of bounds at the 33.
Guy's just so electric when he gets the ball. It's what he does after the catch that is so exciting. When they do this little three-step drop to that side, they've got to throw over Jamal Duff, who is 6'7". They'll do that by chop blocking him and get his arms down. See, tonight he gets the pass off. There's the catch, but here's where the work really begins. A little fake and down the sidelines.
Yeah, good point, Ralph. Again, with Duff at 6'7". Dogs feel they'll be using the three-step drop. Donati will quite a bit tonight. Glover also a very good one, the left tackle. And now on first down and 10, they give to Oliver. Veers off to the right side, bounces ahead, taking a tackler with them. That's Parker carrying it with them to the 25. Gets inside the 25. Close to another first down.
Good tough football, good blocking by the offensive line to open the hole. Good hard running by Jerome Oliver, who just amazes me every game I see. He's fifth, I think, on the season list. He's over 1,000 yards, and you consider he didn't even start until the fourth game of the season. He only had 16 yards, backing up Pittman in the first 3 games.
Pitch to Oliver, left side being hounded by Glover. Glover has a hand on him. He breaks away from Glover, has the first down. He rolls down near the 11-yard line. Fine run by Jerome Oliver, and Glover had a hand on him, but could hold on for good.
Great balance, great strength, great determination. You're going to see the pitch coming to the outside. And watch Leroy Glover, number 92, get a big paw on him. Little piece of the jersey, but it's not enough to drop Jerome Oliver. He just keeps on going. I'll tell you, Fresno State's rushing attack is in good hands with those guys coming back next year.
First down and 10. Ball at the 12-yard line. Game tied at 7. This is Reggie Brown. Brown on his feet, still moving to the 5-yard line. He won't be denied. Finally goes out of bounds and rolled out near the 2.5-yard line. Reggie Brown smelling the goal line and dragging tacklers with them.
See Brown going down a little bit. He's hurt. That was the new formation we were talking about, the weak eye, where they had 3 guys in the backfield. It's not the T-heavy that we've become used to down near the goal line, but they Oliver lines up at tailback. You have a fullback in there, which in this case was Mexico, and Brown lines up as a wing back. They will run mostly running plays out of that formation, but we just hope that he is okay. He delivers a blow, but he also, you also take a blow when you take on defenders like that.
You were saying earlier, Ralph, why this game is important. Doesn't mean a whole lot, I guess, in the wins or losses and standings, but getting some momentum or at least some impetus, saying, hey, we finished strong, we played well, we're going to move on to 95.
You certainly want to establish something tonight. I mean, you need something to carry you into next season, something to be happy about all off season. You win this game, you come back, you can't wait until spring practice, and then you can't wait until summer camp opens. You just really want to go after it.
So it is first down and goal. Ball placed near the 1-yard line. And this is Oliver. Oliver pushing ahead, but he won't get it. Push back. Leading the charge, Leroy Glover. The all-WAC performer out of Point Loma High School here in San Diego.
Well, you get down here in this position, and you like to have a big, strong guy like Reggie Brown in the lineup. He went out for 1 play, but the good news is Reggie Brown is back in the lineup now. So we might see something to the big, tough running back.
Jim Sweeney. Now in 2nd and goal. And blown dead. Movement, I believe, on Fresno State. Brown getting the carry.
Well, the defender came, leaned a little bit, and I think that tipped off somebody on the Bulldog offensive line, and they jumped.
That'll push the Dogs back 5 yards. The first penalty. Boy, Jim Sweeney was proud of the way the team played last week. A great effort. Just couldn't get it done against CSU.
Well, they gave up some critical big long plays in that ball game, and he thinks that if you can eliminate those big plays in this game tonight, you have a great chance to win. Of course, we've already seen they've given up 1 big play to Curtis Shearer for the touchdown.
Big plays hurting the Dogs this year throughout the season. Donati throws complete. Roberson has it. Minute to 5 and won't get anything after that. Jones and company there. That's Leonard Jones, the backup quarterback.
Put a lot of pressure on Donati there. He came a little blitz. Craigus Thompson was putting the heat on him. He unloaded, but yeah, that one went nowhere.
3rd down and goal inside the 5. You got to have it 1st and goal and not get 6. Now disappoint the Dogs. So they like to go ahead, punch it in here. Play fake. Donati throws complete. Touchdown, Fresno State. Reggie Brown. Spun an out pattern on the right side of the end zone, wide open.
Well, when you're able to effectively run the football, and the Bulldogs have had some success on the ground, you can use the play action. And in this case, they rolled Donati out away from the pressure. Brown came out of the backfield and made the catch for the touchdown.
Look at bright spots and say, what can you look forward to in 1995? Yeah, the name Reggie Brown. Might have been in a doghouse first half of the season, but given the opportunity and playing well with some emotion, he's had a good 3 weeks, the last 3 weeks of the season. Ball's drilled by Lasan. The PAT is there. Donati, 6 completions, 4 different receivers tonight. And it translates into a 7-point dog lead over the Aztecs. Back to Jack Murphy in just a moment. Fresno State leading 14-7. We'll check in with Kevin Swinney. And Kevin, the Dog defense burned there on a touchdown. I think one of the big plays, though, the run by Pittman after he got the pass from the quarterback Blanton.
Well, that's right. The play-action pass, and then real well stepped up to make the big hit on Pittman. Hurt himself in front of the bench. Great call by San Diego State going up top against Real Wells. We'll probably see more of that tonight.
Turigian. High, short. Takes the roll. And the Dogs come up with it. Fresno State comes up with it near the 20-yard line. Mercy.
Wow, what were the Aztecs thinking on that play? I was wondering myself. I know I saw Turigian trying to loosen up here during the break on the sideline. And I thought, well, gee, he got off another lousy kick, but just a 9-iron, a wedge, little backspin, draws back to the cup.
Yeah, Larry Cook drawing on the ball and simply fell on it, cradle it, and the Dogs in business. You see Donati's numbers on the night. He'll give to Oliver, pounds it straight ahead. Tough running, gain of about 3, maybe 4. Jerome Oliver hit by the middle linebacker Scott Blade.
You know, those are the kind of things that are going to decide this football game. We talked about how the offenses are both explosive. The defenses have given up points, so I think they're fairly evenly matched that way. It's going to be something maybe in the kicking game, special teams, that will turn the tide in the ball game.
So Turigian's high kick as it takes the bounce and covered by the Dogs, giving Fresno State the football inside the 20-yard line. It was a gain of 3, so 2nd down and 7. With time, Donati throws, and someone got a hand on it, and the pass was intended over for Charlie Jones. Jamal Duff swatted it away, and something he has done a good part of this year. It's 6-7.
Let's take a look at that and see if we can see if there was a little deflection. And yeah, there it is. He gets a piece of it. He had Charlie Jones wide open.
Appreciate the importance of trying to cut him down somehow. Keep Duff from being a big part of this game defensively for the Aztecs. Pass is incomplete. Intended for Latario Rochelle, and Rochelle looking at Donati. Appeared to be a mix-up.
That just looked like a bad pass. He fundamentally he wasn't set to throw. He kind of threw off his back foot, a little off balance.
This
and
would
the ball just sailed on him.
Excuse me, Ralph. About a 35-yard attempt. Thomas to hold.
This guy's made 12 out of 16. He tied for the WAC lead. He makes 75% of them.
And it has the distance and the direction. The kick is good. So a 35-yard field goal by Johan Lasan, and the Dogs adding to their lead, up by 10, 17-7.
And you got to get something out of that situation after your kicking team comes up with the football and hands it to you right there down near the 20-yard line. You wouldn't want to come away empty in that certain circumstance.
You know, with the football season over after tonight's game, there's still reason to get excited about Bulldogs, because basketball about ready to begin on Fox 26. You won't want to miss the Coors Light Basketball Classic. That'll be seen next Saturday night, 1 week from tonight, 8 o'clock, right here on your station, KMPH, Fox 26.
And I'm going to be optimistic and say that's going to be the 8 o'clock game. Gary Colson Bulldogs looking pretty good in the exhibition season. They take on Pepperdine Monday night to open the regular season. They've looked good. They win the first game of the Classic. They're in that championship, and we'll have it for you. Cross my fingers at 8 p.m.
Sounds good. I will hold you to it. You can see Jim Sweeney. Turigian to kick off. Peterson back to receive along with Curtis Shear. Again, the Aztecs have speed. They, too, though, a little thin, trying to improve the team next year. And like Fresno State, will rely on junior college transfers. Taken at the 25-yard line. Lineman to the 32. So the return there.
Yeah, I'll let you do that, man.
Yeah, that's Avician. Abo. Double A.
Call him Avo, yep. That's right. Chris Burke was the guy who got his nose in there and happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. But he did take him down.
Billy Blanton out of Mater Dei High School in Santa Ana. Always a great program. Football and basketball, even baseball. Mater Dei. Drops it off. Pass complete. And a gain of about 6, maybe 7. Will Blackwell making the reception. Looked like the cartoon character that had the feet churning and churning, but wasn't going anywhere on a slippery linoleum. Deshay giving credit for the tackle.
I know that feeling myself.
Yeah. I do it on a daily basis. 2nd down and 4. So a gain of 6. 17-7. Dogs lead. 4:15 left in this, the first quarter. 3 receivers off to the near sideline. Pittman the carry. He has the first down. Punches it across to the 45. Ron the tackle.
Let's take a look at as the Aztecs open up a big hole in the middle again. There's Chris Rockwell getting pushed aside. Pazian makes the tackle, but not before Pittman gets the first down.
And we have a player hurt. Let's check in with right now, though, with Kevin Sweeney. Kevin?
Hey, guys, one of the things I think when I was playing is Richie Donati and anybody who's played quarterback at Fresno State is being able to see the defense. Well, Fresno State is able to see San Diego State's offense, all the formations that they're lining in there. They came up out and trips left. So I think it's an advantage at some point. There's no deception on San Diego State's part of where they're going to line up. Defensively, I think it's just going to be a personnel issue. And now you've got Papazian down. If the Dogs can have enough backups that can keep stepping in here to play defense.
Well, and that's the real concern, because if the Dogs lose a linebacker, a good bet they'll simply be going, maybe Chris Rockwell, the injured player, but the Dogs may be going to 5 defensive backs as opposed to bringing in a linebacker who had not seen much playing time. So really thin at the linebacking core.
The nickel defense, yes, could be a factor tonight. They'll bring in Marlon Jackson in case one of those linebackers goes down. In this situation now, Tony Sargent comes in to take over for Rockwell, a senior and just a tough young man who's had his share of injuries, and actually more than his share of injuries. Didn't practice, I don't believe, much of the week this week because of injury, and now is hurt again.
Well, I've never seen a team that has had so many injuries in the course of 1 year. It has been a rough year in that regard.
Take a look at the right side of the screen. I don't know if could we see that again? Maybe Tony Sargent or one of his own players actually hit him. If you're looking for number 98 right there on the right side of the screen, and takes a hit in the head, is what I'm being told. There's a, oh, that's it right there. It is Tony Sargent. Falls on his head, and boy, you just worry that might be some kind of a neck injury, or because they are keeping him very stable, and he has had this problem before against Oregon State. I think maybe last year, 2 years ago, they had to take Rockwell out of Bulldog Stadium in a hospital. Number 98 again, and there it is. It looks like a jam into the neck and the head area. And we certainly hope and pray that this is not one of those serious kind of things that you fear in football. They're bringing the card out on the field.
Jim Sweeney looking on, and the Bulldog medical staff, training crew there.
The young man with no hat on, facing the camera there, that's the orthopedic surgeon, Eric Hansen. And the trainer, Paul Schechter, whom Jim Sweeney just put his arm on his shoulder, and several of his assistants.
Yeah, terrifying to see this. And Rockwell, as you mentioned, banged up early, and really a man full of emotion himself and inspiration. And I know it was tough on him when he was hurt earlier and couldn't go every game. He got back in and playing everything he has in his final game collegiately. Chris Rockwell.
Well, and this guy is he's one of the emotional and spiritual leaders on the team, and he's been a fallen comrade so often in his career. In this instance, of course, they're taking every precaution because they fear apparently for some kind of a neck injury. So they will take every precaution. They will immobilize him, stabilize him, put him on the straight backboard. You'll see him probably strap his helmet still to the board. putting cushions on each side of the helmet. And there comes the strap down to stabilize his helmet so he doesn't move his head.
And Dog players obviously in fear and in shock, and certainly distressing to everybody to see this, regardless what team you're pulling for. We will pass along any word we hear regarding Chris Rockwell and this injury. And the last thing we want to do is attempt to assume the exact severity of the injury. But you're right, Ralph, as far as taking precautions. You have no choice. You have to do that at this point. And we'll certainly keep our fingers crossed. Dogs have a 17-7 lead. Fresno State scoring early, in fact, on the board in less than a minute and 30 seconds on a touchdown pass. They got Roberson down inside the 5-yard line and eventually punched it in. And the Dogs adding to their lead. They've got a field goal from Johan Lasan. Shear caught a 40-yard touchdown pass from Blanton. Oliver had the 5-yard run. Brown had the other touchdown, and that was a 4-yard touchdown pass from Donati. Roberson's reception set up the first score for Oliver, and the Lasan's field goal officially at 36 yards.
Well, we have already seen offensive fireworks. We have seen defenses give up big plays, and we have not really seen the defenses make a stand yet, and that was pretty much what we expected. These have been defenses that have given up points, which has become pretty much the story of the Western Athletic Conference. That's how it's gotten its reputation as such a shootout conference, and we expected another one tonight, and we're headed in that direction.
Yeah, we saw a few moments earlier a shot on the sideline. That was Michael Pittman, Wayne Pittman's brother. And, of course, Michael got up to the fine start before he was injured. He was playing so well for the Dogs. And Michael out this year. Their father was a chief warrant officer. He's now retired. Henry Pittman served in the Persian crisis, Persian Gulf crisis, as they take Rockwell off to put him on the cart. Jim Sweeney, who loves his players as much as any coach can love his players. This is difficult for Sweeney and the team to watch. Not knowing folks fearful, but again, we'll pass along as soon as we hear about Chris Rockwell.
Well, you saw Rocky moving his arm there, so that's a good sign that he has some movement in the extremities, and that's not, they want to keep it that way, so that's why they immobilize him and don't want to set anything off or further injure him.
See the thumb up.
Well, that's a good sign. That's a good sign.
So the Aztecs have the ball. 4:08 left in this, the first quarter. First down and 10 at the 45-yard line. Williams, Edwards up front, along with Tony Sargent. The pass is incomplete. And again, pressure in the backfield. Good job by Fresno State.
That was the secret to that play going nowhere. They did get a good pass rush, good pressure on Blanton. He tried to get rid of it probably a little sooner than he hoped to, although that is a quick play, that middle screen. But you can credit the defensive front guys for that one.
One of their more favorite plays. I mean, we see an awful lot of that from talking to the coaches.
We've already seen it 3 or 4 times tonight. First time blew up in a fumble that Fresno State recovered.
And the short drop. Maxwell has it, and Maxwell is hit by Cook. Nice job by Larry Cook, the tackle. So no gain.
And that's a huge play by Larry Cook, because that's one of those open field type situations where you have to have the type of athlete who will wrap up the pass receiver and drop him. And that's exactly what number 37 Larry Cook does to DeAndre Maxwell. Wraps him up and brings him down, gets a little help from Ron Papazian coming over the top.
Now 3rd down and 10. Sure, Maxwell off to the right. Blanton wants to throw in that direction. Looking to the right. He fires now, and it's intercepted. Taken by Papazian, picked off, and the Dogs come up with their 3rd takeaway of the night. And folks, we're only in the first quarter.
And that was a terrific interception because it was like a one-handed job. Papazian, who had intercepted a pass earlier this year, I think it was at El Paso, and had such a great run back that made us look back and see what his background was. That is a running back, but he looks like a receiver here. One hand, tips it into the other, secures it, and takes it back. He wasn't able to show the moves that we saw with the straight arm and the jump in El Paso, but Pappy gets the interception.
Indeed. First down and 10 at the 44. So again, the third takeaway in the first quarter. Dogs lead by 10. 3:13 left in the first quarter. Out of the eye in motion. That's Jones. Oliver and Brown in the backfield. The pitch to Oliver. Oliver has a hole and cruises to the 46. Make it maybe the 47. Gain of about 2.5, maybe 3. Scott Blade, the tackle, the middle linebacker for the Aztecs. We're talking about the two teams in the 5 programs. Last year, players that played in the Aztec game with Fresno State, 10 players went on to the NFL between the two teams. There'll be some going off to the pro ranks again after this season, despite the fact both teams under 500. Oliver got a block from Brown, sprung him instead of being a 1 or 2 yard loss, getting back just beyond the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, not only 10 players going to the NFL, but 2 of the top 6. We need to talk about
Falk and
the guy
Dilfer.
here, Falk and Dilfer.
Darnay Scott also up there. So I guess for these two teams, it's a mini version of the California Bowl. Yeah, they're not going anywhere after this, but there's certainly some pride. Trying to get off the 95 season, if you will, up to a good start. You saw Oliver's numbers. Donati wants to pass. He throws. The catch is made. Taken as he steps out of bounds after making the catch. In fact, Roberson at least got in bounds, but when he pivoted, he was out of bounds. And we'll get a look as it comes right at you, folks.
Roberson very close to the sideline. Unfortunately, a little too close because once he made that spin move, he had some room down the sideline. But here is the catch right at the edge, and you see he stepped on the white, and that was it. But it's a first down for the Bulldogs. Nice catch by Brian Roberson. Nice throw by Donati.
Yes, sirree. 12-yard pickup. That's the time left in the first quarter. Dogs looking to add to their lead, up by 10 in the early going from San Diego. We're at Mission Valley on a cool night from Jack Murphy Stadium. Oliver wrapped up. Waist-high tackle is made. Good job by Julius McChristian, a true freshman, strong safety. We'll bring up second down, and Oliver's slow to get up. Jerome still not up.
You know, we saw Pittman on the sideline, and he's really become the forgotten man in this situation. We forget that he actually won the starting job at the beginning of the year. And now you're going to have a guy like Jerome Oliver comes on and really burst upon the scene when he started his first couple of games and was terrific. Reggie Brown emerges. I think when Ron Rivers and Anthony Daigle were drafted, you thought, boy, Fresno State's never going to have another tandem of running backs like this. But you look now, you look down there and see guys like Jerome Oliver and Reggie Brown and Pittman coming back next year. Boy, you just don't know.
We have a report. Dave Haglund, Scott Johnson's assistant, brings us a report that Chris Rockwell, a bruised nerve in the shoulder area, also bruised, taken to hospital for precautionary reasons, and we'll pass along any further details as we get them. Pass is complete. Done a leaping grab at the 17, brought down at the 15. First down, Fresno State. What a catch by David Dunn. This one of 23 yards.
You know, this guy told me earlier this week it's always been his dream to be able to play in the National Football League. And I said, have you been able to show what you can do here, really? And he said, well, I've shown flashes of what I can do. But tonight is his last chance to showcase his talents. And you saw really a terrific catch there, a little facial massage there by one of the defenders. And Charlie Jones comes to his rescue. But, yeah, David Dunn, as we said earlier, has something to prove coming back home. This is his last game as a senior collegiate football player, although he will play in the Senior Bowl, an all-star game a little later on.
Yeah, I like his chances in the NFL. The pass incomplete. David must have been listening to me as the ball trickles out of bounds off his hands. It'll be second down and 10. I'm not sure, Ralph, though, that he needed to catch, let's say, 50 more balls this year, or even 25 more, to convince the scouts that he's a guy that can play in the NFL.
Well, I'll tell you what can get him a ticket to the NFL is the way he runs back kickoffs. That's tough to find in the NFL. You don't want, you end up putting some of your receivers back there, and you don't want to subject them to that. Henry Ellard used his kickoff returning skills as a ticket to break in with the Rams, and then he really established himself as a receiver.
Now on 2nd down and 10, play fake to Brown. Donati throws. He's hit as he throws the ball and throws it out of the end zone beyond the end line, intended for Charlie Jones.
Tough throw for Donati because he was heading that way. He had to throw across his body, and you had the big Leroy Glover coming after him, bearing down on him. So that's a tough throw to make in any situation. But you had a guy like Leroy Glover breathing down your neck, and it's tough.
3rd down and 10.
Getting back to David Dunn, you know, he's got the size. He's 6'3", he's 210. A big guy who can really move. A lot of people teased him about not being fast enough, but I know on timing day he had the fastest 40 of anybody out there.
And now Dunn bringing the play in, sets up inside to the left. Donati throws, pumps, gets it off, and it's incomplete, almost picked off. The pass was intended for Jones, and it hit Jason Moore and caught Moore by surprise. Another true freshman out of Pacific High. San Bernardino.
Well, I'll tell you, if the football and Moore had a little Velcro on him, he's gone the other way, because you're right. It hits him right between the numbers. That's a huge break and a pass Rich Donati should not have thrown. He'll take a look at the films of that one and say, how did I ever throw that football? And the coaches will probably remind him along the sideline that you got to pull that ball down, not make that throw. With 3 defenders surrounding Charlie Jones, he just simply did not see him.
Now Johan Lasan will attempt a field goal. This of 32 yards. I didn't hear the first part of that. And a timeout has been charged. Illegal equipment change on San Diego State. So the Aztecs have been charged a timeout.
I think they probably went to the sideline and got some Velcro, like I was suggesting, for the next opportunity.
Telling him exactly how he should apply that Velcro to make sure it stays in the midsection area. Now the Dogs will attempt this field goal of 32 yards. I saw he hit one earlier of 36 yards. Past the distance, and it hooks in there. It's good. Johan Lasan, a perfect 2 for 2. And the Dogs now leading by 13. Well, you always figure a shootout when these two teams get together, and a pretty good start here. The Dogs 20 points in the first quarter against the Aztecs.
Well, this one's got a long way to go. We've seen too many of these games this year. You know that San Diego State's going to be able to put some points on the board as well.
Hey, you can still catch football action weeknights at 7:30 with Hayden Fox and the Screaming Eagles. It's the hit comedy Coach immediately following Roseanne weeknights on the KMPH 26 Happy Hour.
I thought this was the happy hour.
You know, I think, well, it's early start. It was a 5 o'clock happy hour. There's timeout. And the Dogs have reason to celebrate at least early. But, yeah, I wouldn't take anything for granted, regardless of the quarter, regardless of the score. And let's check in with Kevin. Kev, what do you got?
Guys, I got a little bit of update. Chris Rockwell, it appeared, has a zinger in his neck. I know that it looked a lot scarier than that, and hopefully that will be the final conclusion. He had that history, as Ralph alluded to, last year against Oregon State, had a more structural damage a year ago, so I think that was more precautionary than anything else. Jerome Oliver has a sprained shoulder, and it's uncertain whether he'll return, and I'll keep you updated from there.
All right, Kevin. Here's keep on happening. Ball rolled at the 20-yard line. Shear has it. And it's stepped out of bounds, apparently.
Well, they have just come up with a terrific game plan on the kickoff. They've totally negated what San Diego State can do, taking away any opportunity for run back, and even as we saw earlier, recovered one that the Aztecs neglected to catch.
Yeah, they have a pretty good one back there to receive the kickoff, Shear, but he has not been a factor. Not in terms of returning kicks. Had the big touchdown reception from Blanton earlier for the lone score for the Aztecs. Pittman in the backfield. Three receivers out to the near sideline. Pittman the carry to the 25. He has the first down and rambles down to the 34. Healthy game. Lance Thomas the tackle. Well, he knew about his brother, and Wayne can also run. Some reports say he has 4.3 speed at a Mira Mesa High School here in San Diego.
Well, I think you or I could have run through this hole. Look at that. That's just a great job of blocking by the offensive line of San Diego State.
Now 1st and 10 from the 34. Pittman again. And he slices to the 40. Make it the 42. 50 gain of about 7.
The line opens the holes for you, but Pittman's the kind of strong running back who can get you that little extra at the end of the run. And that's what coaches look for, a guy who turns the 3-yard gain into a 6-yard gain.
Aaron Preisendorf with the tackle, and that's into the first quarter. Time runs down. We played 1 quarter here from Jack Murphy Stadium. And the Dogs have 20 points. The Aztecs have 7. Back to Jack Murphy right after these messages. Dogs lead. We begin the second quarter. Along with Kevin Sweeney and Ralph Wood, I'm Kent Nordovanis. Jack Murphy Stadium in San Diego. The Aztecs are down. The Aztecs 2-5 in the WAC. We told you the winner, 7th place. They're not concerned about where to put them in the standings. They just like to get a win and get ready for 95. Blanton at quarterback gives to Pittman. And relying on the running game here. With some miscues in the early going. That's the first down. Close to the 50-yard line. We're going to look at the first quarter numbers brought to you by the Pacific Bell Smart Yellow Pages.
They're actually very close. Rushing almost identical. Bulldogs had the advantage in passing. The turnover, which was the fumble recovered by Fresno State.
Dogs also came up with a recovery on a kickoff on the play fake. With time, Blanton steps up, looking, firing long downfield, looking for Shear, and it's incomplete, almost picked off. Stoudemire just about came up with it. Shear was well covered. Demetrius Edwards putting pressure on Blanton at the last moment.
Good little pass rush, and you'll see number 5, Omar Stoudemire. He's got his eyes on the ball, didn't really see Shearer, and the collision there. Shearer says, hey, he hit me. That should be pass interference, but absolutely not. Both going for the football.
2nd down and 10. Blanton setting Maxwell straight. Maxwell inside Shearer to the left. Pittman gets the carry. He's hit by Kasner, dropped immediately. Nice job by Steve Kasner.
Great job by Kasner to fight off the block and make the tackle for a loss. Watch number 57 on the replay. There's Pittman. You'll not see 57 until he has finished defeating his blocker and wraps him up. And that's something that the coaches have gone back to in the last couple of weeks of practice, is the fundamentals of finishing the tackle. We talked earlier about so many missed tackles. Get your fundamentals down, wrap them up, then drop them.
So now a 3rd down and 10. Blanton on the play fake. Throws far sideline, incomplete. Maxwell, the intended receiver, well covered. And the Aztecs will have to punt the ball.
Good defensive stand for Fresno State, forcing the punt. If they could continue to be effective like that. One of the interesting things that we found was San Diego State has had luck running the football this year, but they quit on it.
Kaczewski with the punt. Aztecs will down it as it trickles to near the 10-yard line. Break in the action. And with 13:42 left in the first half, the Dogs lead by 13.
Bulldog Football is brought to you by Century Ford Mazda, your big Ford Mazda store, and by the Men's Warehouse, where you can get a great selection, great service, and a great price.
You've seen these words on the license frame of a very old truck? Well, if it isn't running, then who's laughing? Century Ford Mazda offers a better way, the Red Carpet 2-year plan. You can drive a 5-speed 6-cylinder Ford F-150 series for $249 per month lease, plus tax. True story. A brand new Century Ford F-150 for $249 per month and no repair bills. It's a great plan from Century Ford Mazda, 41 on Bullard on Auto Center Drive. At a Sal's Attack,
It's fresh.
at a Sal's Attack,
It's coming.
at a Sal's Attack.
Yes!
Sal's Mexican Restaurants. Just ask anyone who's had one. Bring the family and taste for yourself. Sal's Mexican Restaurants, 2 Fresno locations and Clovis.
Whether I'm treating myself or selecting a holiday gift for a loved one, I keep coming back to Bianchi's because they're a caring, professional jewelry store with a tradition of quality and value.
Bianchi's Jewelers, northeast corner of Bullard and West.
An armed suspect holds police at bay.
He's been drinking. He's got a gun.
And you'll be there for the final showdown. A brand new Primetime Cops tonight on Fox.
Fresno State leading 20-7. Kevin, a penalty. What was it? Too many men on the field or illegal substitution? What was it?
Well, you know, the technical term is that, but yeah, too many people on the field, not enough hustle by the Bulldogs, illegal substitution. Dogs got to run off the field, and that's what happened. And good call by the Aztecs, got the Dogs backed up.
13:42 left here in the first half. And you see the Dogs with 20 points in the first quarter. So it's backed up near the 11-yard line. Roberson right. Jones inside Roberson. Fortier the tight end. This is Oliver. Drives ahead. Tough running here.
And that's a good sign because he came off the field injured, holding his right shoulder. And Kevin found out that he had a bruised shoulder and weren't sure if he was going to be able to play again. But he's back, so that's great news. And now he comes off again. Actually, the shoulder is kind of hanging down, so he may be done for the night. Probably said, Coach, let me go in and give it one try. And now he's saying, no, I can't go. It's just too painful. Sprained shoulder.
Brown, the lone running back. Down and Jones to the right side. Play take to Brown. Denied. Fires on the move. And off the hand of Charlie Jones. Could make the grab. Roger Blake was putting pressure on the quarterback, making it difficult for QB Richie Donati. 3rd down and 6.
Donati's having a tough time actually getting set and being able to throw the ball and with good form. You'll see him, the heat put on here. He tries to roll away from the pressure, but then he's kind of just, you know, on the run and not able to set and deliver the football.
Get it down. Let's go. Concentrate.
It's almost the old, what's that, the old jump pass they used to throw in the old days? Long before us.
Boys.
Long before us, of course.
That's what I'm told. Now on a 3rd down and 6, Donati throwing long downfield, looking for Roberson. He's got it. Brian Roberson, another grab, and you couldn't throw a better ball. There's pretty good coverage. I don't know how else the defender can. That's Eric Sutton. Stop that connection. Donati to Roberson. This of 42 yards on a big 3rd down conversion.
And look at the difference in form. He gets to drop back, set, and unload. He's an effortless type passer. He's like it's like a golfer, you know, just kind of a nice, sweet, effortless swing, and just gets the ball out there. And he dropped that one on a dime.
So it was 3rd down and 6 near the 10-yard line. They get the 1st down on the big pass play, better than 40 yards. And now into Aztec territory. Brown carrying the mail to the 40, the 35. There he goes. Reggie Brown to the 20, the far sideline, and forced out of bounds at the 10. Penalty flag's been thrown back near the line of scrimmage. We'll see about the flag. Brown, a nice run. But it's coming back with a penalty against the Dogs.
Holding penalty. I'm not sure if we'll be able to see it. It wasn't there on Jason James. I can't see it there. Maybe they got David Dunn on the outside for kind of hooking the guy, but it's too hard to tell from that view of the replay. But again, big gain wiped out by a penalty.
Holding on the offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat 1st down.
And with the frustrating year with all the injuries, this is one area in which the Dogs have fared pretty well. Jim Sweeney teams usually among the best when it comes to fewest penalties, fewest yards. We talk about a difficult year, but hey folks, a lot of bright spots, and here's one of them. Richie Donati played so well against a good CSU team. Perfectly thrown balls tonight. With 4-2 and 1995. First down at 17. The pass incomplete. Jay Arnold, the intended receiver. Second down at 17. Now, we mentioned young teams, both quite young. San Diego State, 16 of their starters were key reserves or underclassmen. The Dogs have been forced to go with a lot of young players, inexperienced players with injuries. Ted Tollner hoping to stabilize the program. They needed stability for a while here. A couple of years ago, the Dogs knocked them out of the race, the lap race, for the win down here in San Diego. Throwing on the move, and the pass is incomplete. Out of bounds, Charlie Jones was. So now to hold on to it anyway.
Yeah, even if he had caught that, that would have been a problem because he was run out of bounds and came back in. We'll see him perhaps down along the sideline. There's Donati again unloading on the run. There's Jones already out of bounds. He tries to come back and make the catch.
So another third down. This is third down and 17 from midfield. Fresno State trying to get their 5th win of the year and their 3rd in the WAC. Dunn Rochelle to the near sideline. Roberson wide right. Pass complete. Fortier has it and will not get the first down.
It's going to depend on, he's 10 yards short. I'm looking at the wrong end of the stick.
Thompson and McChristian with the stop.
Fortier, a guy who doesn't get to see much action catching the football. Nice to get the opportunity.
Brown back to punt. Aztecs going for the return. This one tumbled into the end zone. So the Aztecs will have it at the 20-yard line with the touchback. Hey, this week in Bulldog Sports, brought to you by Glendale Federal Bank. Well, the men's basketball exhibition, November 28th. And we have had that, had we not already? Yes, sirree. Hey, how about this, though? December 3rd, 11th ranked wrestling. We'll have Oregon State, and they'll be in town, hosted by the Fresno State Bulldogs. Call 278-DOGS. Pittman to the 25.
Yeah, November 28th is that's the Pepperdine game, the season opener against the Waves at Selden Arena that we talked about a little earlier.
Exhibition game was what, Tuesday night? Last week?
They finished their exhibition season, yes, last Tuesday night.
That's right, with some of different
Perth, Australia
teams, foreign teams coming in. Pittman to the 25, to the 27. Going to be short of the first down. It'll bring up third down and short for the Aztecs. Dogs lead 20-7. We're in the second quarter. There's the offensive coordinator, Tom Kraft. And coach of the year, junior college ranks. And he was a quarterback here at San Diego State when Ted Tollner was the quarterback coach years ago. So the two hooked up again. Offensive coordinator and the head coach. He's getting a little sloppy here.
On the offense.
The Aztecs like the Dogs, Ralph, in a lot of ways in terms of at times show you an awful lot, impressive, with some speed, individual ability.
There you see it's the left tackle lifting up. Consistency is exactly the word that we've been talking about all year long. Inconsistency is actually the word we've been talking about because they're brilliant one series and have trouble the next. We talked earlier about the Aztecs running the football, and they had 3rd and 2 there for a first down. You thought maybe they could run the football, but Blanton was dropping back to pass on that particular play.
So now at a third down and 7, Blanton has to put it up in the air. With some time, he throws, and it is complete. Leaping catch made. First down, San Diego State. Maxwell with the grab.
And in DeAndre Maxwell, you're talking about a guy who has something to prove in this ball game because this is his hometown team, Bullard High School in Fresno, where he played so well for the Knights. Probably wants to show Jim Sweeney, well, Yeah, I could have played for you, even with all the great receivers you do have, Coach.
Yeah, Maxwell showing some of the purported 38-inch vertical leap that he possesses. We're speaking of Henry Ellard's uncle, or Henry Ellard, and his nephew is Maxwell. This carry for Pittman near the 40. Should Tony Sargent the stop? But I guess, Ralph, with all the injuries, you expect some inconsistency. You're playing a lot of guys who probably should not be playing this year.
And playing a lot of guys who were held out of practice the previous week because they were too hurt to practice. And so they're not familiar with the game plan. They haven't faced the game situations. They're not sure what to do in certain points of the ball game when they're faced with different matchups.
This is a 2nd down and 6. Pittman has the first down. I'm not sure the hurry-up offense bothers the Dogs. Leon Burtonette said they got a lot of help from Chris Likewise, one of the student assistants on the scout team. As we take another look.
Scout team had been much maligned this year, but boy, they had raves for the scout team this past week in practice.
John DiMilitone, graduate assistant, worked at Montana State also. Helped out. Pittman around the right side. Flags all over the place. Brought down at the 47. Once again, things getting a little messy here. And the Aztecs, fortunately for Dog fans, this holding penalty against San Diego State.
Yeah, John DiMilitone, a former player at Fresno State. The defense, if you can keep an eye on them, because they do all have those wristbands that we showed you during the pregame show, and they will look over at Jethro Franklin on the sideline. He has headsets on. He's talking to coaches up in the booth. They're trying to get an idea of what's coming in on the Aztec side.
10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
I said because of that, the great work by the scout teams, it made it easier for the defense to deal with the hurry-up offense.
Well, it's so hard normally for a scout team to simulate game conditions that you're going to face once game day comes around. But they did a great job this past week in preparing the Fresno State defense.
With the penalty, 1st down and 20 now at the 28. Make it the 38-yard line. Blanton will throw. Far sideline, wide open. Catch is made by Hawkins. Has the 1st down. Bumped out of bounds. After made a nice move down to the Bulldog 35. Darrell Hawkins with the reception.
Well, that looked like another blown coverage on the part of the Bulldogs. Got Larry Cook in there now because Rio Wells was injured earlier, but he finds a big opening there between Omar Stoutmeyer, number 5, and Larry Cook, who comes in late to finish off the tackle.
Scott Johnson, our statistician, gave us a note early about how many guys had receptions for both teams early. They'll share the wealth between these two teams. Hawkins getting the last one. Blanton to throw. Fires a bullet. Complete. Has the 1st down. Reception made to the 15-yard line. Blackwell the catch. So they come back to Blackwell. A big catch earlier in the 1st quarter. That could be a nice drive so far here by the Aztecs.
Well, in that case, it was Blackwell finding his seam and Blanton getting the football to him.
20-yard pass play. Blanton shot in the play out. Pittman in the backfield. Trips formation off to the right side. The tight end, Zach Smith. Trips formation off to the left. The tight end is on the right. Blanton gives to Pittman. Tries. And he doesn't get a whole lot. Slowed down by Kasner. And then finished off by Andre Grigg. 8:44 left in the 1st half. Fresno State leading 20-7.
Kasner having a whale of a game so far for the Bulldogs at the outside linebacker spot.
Maxwell and Shear, along with Hakeem off to the right. Pittman in the backfield. On the rollout. Catch is made. Shear has it. Doesn't get much. Breaks out of a tackle. Cook had him but couldn't control him. And eventually finished off by Lance Thomas.
That's right. You said he didn't get much, but he got more than he should have because Larry Cook had the opportunity to drop him right at the point of the catch. Let's watch the pass, the catch, and then Larry Cook, 37, with the opportunity to make the tackle virtually immediately there. But just doesn't wrap up. Shearer with the spin move, picks up a few extra yards before Lance Thomas finishes him off.
Instead of 3rd down and 9, brings up a 3rd down and 5. Ball at the 10-yard line. Ball deflected up in the air, and Pass is complete. So the leap in effort made. It was deflected, and the wounded duck went up in the air and caught by the Aztecs.
There's Papazian coming right up the middle. Pittman with a great block. Tony Sargent, number 91, is the one who gets the hands up and the deflection. Then you got a jump ball downfield.
Blackwell coming up with it. Short of the first down. So the field goal attempt between hash marks, 30-yard attempt, and the line drive is drilled, but it's wide. The 29-yard field goal attempt is no good. So a break in the action with 6:57 left in the first half. Dogs still lead by lucky 13.
In a distant corner of our galaxy, an invincible alliance has been formed.
Engage! Let's go!
Jack in the Box and the new Paramount motion picture Star Trek Generations team up to give you a free Star Trek Generations movie collector's cup when you galaxy-size any Supreme Value combo. For just 39 cents more, beam up to bigger fries, a larger drink. Collect all 4 limited edition cups. It's a stellar deal for just 39 cents more, only at Jack in the Box.
Call it the last of the 94s and have We Got 'em discounted.
The Toyota T100.
Your basic heavy-duty farm vehicle. Fresno Toyota has them $3,000 off MSRP.
The Toyota 8100.
The one your kid wants. Good light-duty pickup, too. Fresno Toyota has them at $88 and $97.
And the Toyota Previa van.
Every full-size family needs one. Fresno Toyota has them $4,500 off MSRP.
At these prices, you could afford one of each. Couldn't you?
Fresno Toyota. Member Central Valley Toyota Dealers Association.
Fox NFL Sunday. It's the #1 pregame show on TV.
I think the country can breathe a sigh of relief.
Through 11 weeks, the pregame team that's never lost in the ratings.
I like guarantees.
After a long look, Miller to the end zone. Touchdown! Jerome Bettis and the Rams lock horns with QB Stan Humphries and the Chargers, who are bolting to the AFC West. LA Rams versus San Diego.
Two teams hungry for a win. The Dogs have a lead here in the first half, 20-7. You talked about a matchup of Jamal Duff and Roy Glover, but Duff is now positioned on the right side and has been that way part of the first quarter, perhaps to get him away from Jason James, where Duff can be perhaps more effective. He lines up, bottom of your screen there, and the carry, Reggie Brown. Brown dragging people with him for the 20. Just back the line of scrimmage.
Well, you're absolutely right. That's the guy that San Diego State needs to have in their defensive game plan. He has to be in there making plays. And when he was up against a guy like Jason James, James was just negating what he was able to do. So they said, let's get him away from James, put him on the other side of the line, and see if number 61, Michael Carr, can have as much success handling the 6'7" Jamal Duff.
An imposing side when you had Duff next to Leroy Glover. And Glover remaining as a left tackle. Play fake, Donati throws, it's complete, wide open. That's Roberson, ankle tackles made, but after the first down. That's the 35-yard line.
And I can tell you on that play that Carr had his problems with Duff, because watch number 48 as he comes to the outside rush. He's playing the right defensive end. 61 Michael Carr will be the one trying to block him, and he's just going to power into him and then go around him. Donati's going to complete the pass, but he's going to take the hit as well. Boom.
He's taken a couple already in the first half.
Yeah, you don't want your quarterback taking too many hits like that in the game.
Now from the 36. Brown to the 35. So nothing there. Again, Jerome Oliver is out. Injuries galore this year. More injuries tonight with Rockwell out. And Jerome Oliver is sitting on the bench.
Well, this is a perfect example of what the injury bug has done to Fresno State. Sal Mexico wasn't expected to play, really, because he's nursing a hurt. He's been forced into the ball game because Reggie Brown has to move from fullback to tailback with the departure of Oliver.
Donati's numbers in the first half. He'll put it up in the air. Gets rid of it. Catch is made by Roberson. And Roberson lost his balance but made a nice grab. Another first down. Folks, this is going to be fun to watch. Donati and Roberson. Donati and Jones at 95. This at 21 yards. They'll be playing with plenty of confidence come 95.
Take a look at it again, and that's right. I'd feel very comfortable having guys like Roberson, Donati, Charlie Jones, Jerome Oliver, Reggie Brown. Much of that offensive line as well. You're going to lose a guy like Jason James, but the one plus about having so many injuries in that line is that the young guys have gained some invaluable experience.
From the 43, Mexico in the game. Sal's been banged up. Catch made by Charlie Jones. Still going, dragging people with him to the 30-yard line. First down, Fresno State. Yeah, this indeed the California Bowl, if you will, for Fresno State. Charlie Jones showing plenty of intensity.
Charlie Jones, of course, very vocal about his feelings heading into this ball game. Quotes in the Fresno Bee about that this was the start of next season, that these guys had to get it going right now and be able to carry something into next year. It's 24 against 24. And Jones usually does it with moves, but that time he did it with muscle.
Donati's favorite receiver tonight has been Roberson. 6 catches, 141 yards. Moving efficiently through the air. Now at the split backfield. Play fake to Mejia. Donati in trouble and sacked. Snowed under. Donati upended, and that's Duff. Keep an eye on Jamal Duff. That's not a football player, that's a battleship coming at you.
Well, in a case like that, you see Michael Carr just can't handle the big guy, and he's just overpowered. That's something the Bulldogs have been lacking, and something they would love to have on their defensive front is just a force of a pass rush. And guys like Duff and Leroy Glover provide that for San Diego State. And I think that's the kind of player you're going to see Fresno State try and go out and recruit on the junior college level in the offseason.
They get strong in a hurry. Second down and 19. Reverse over to Dunn. Dunn looking on the right side. He wants to pass. He throws on the move. It is complete. Catch is made. Taken by Jay Arnold. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, Fresno State. Mercy. David Dunn, 3 for 3 passing this year. All touchdowns. Penalty flag has been thrown, though.
I think what he did was he went beyond the line of scrimmage when he threw the football.
So it'll be brought back. Dunn went beyond. Couldn't have gone by much.
Big penalty because they also lose the down on that.
Illegal forward pass. Pass beyond the line of scrimmage against the offense. 5-yard penalty. Loss of down. Third down.
So that's smart.
As you watched it unfold, you thought, gee, he concealed that it was a pass so well. And he did. Yes, he went beyond the line of scrimmage because he waited such a long time. I think he really thought he might run the ball. He got a block from Donati out here, and then he saw, well, the receiver is so wide open that he just had to unload it.
So Donati to Brown, to Dunn, to Arnold, and unfortunately back to the 44. Now third down and 24. Donati throwing up, lobbing long downfield for Charlie Jones, and almost picked off. Intended for Jones, and Sutton almost had himself the eye.
Pass intended for number 24, Charlie Jones, defending for the Aztecs, number 24.
Take a look. It's just the drop and let it go and hope Charlie Jones can make a circus catch. But there's great coverage on the play, and Jones takes a little shot at the end.
Yeah, the stats will say Dunn 2 for 2 this year. Folks, we know he's 3 for 3. Punt tumbled out. Taken up near the 15-yard line. So we'll break for these messages with 3:11 left in the first half. Dogs leading 20-7 over San Diego State.
Your
Your Ford dealer knows what you want in a car. You want safety. You want value. You want the best. Take your pick. America's #1 selling car, Ford Taurus, can be yours with low 2.9 financing or a low lease rate of just $249 a month. Or an Escort, the best-selling small car with 2.9 financing or $199 a month in your choice of models. Taurus and Escort, both with standard dual airbags, both best sellers, and both are great value with 2.9 financing or a lease rate of $249 a month on Taurus and $199 a month on Escort. Only at your Central Valley Ford dealer.
These are the hallmarks of Harris Construction Company. Spanning 4 generations, Harris has completed a diversity of projects in the institutional, commercial, and industrial markets. For over 80 years, when the best Valley businesses have built their future, chances are we were there. We're Harris Construction Company, building the Valley.
Can you spot the difference between our old business cards and the new ones? We've changed our name from Lundberg Insurance to HRH Insurance of Central California. Now, as part of the 9th largest insurance agency in the nation, we offer clients more buying power, more coverage options, and more long-term security. But there are a lot of important things that haven't changed on our new cards. If you liked us as Lundberg Insurance, you're going to like us even more as Hilb, Rogal, and Hamilton of Central California.
That's the story. Time left in the first half. Fresno State 20-7. And we pointed out earlier the Dogs may not have gotten a break on that call with the touchdown brought back. And Dunn connecting. Let's check in with Kevin Sweeney. Kevin, your vantage point looked like Dogs didn't get one there.
Well, that's right. Dogs got a bad call. Line of scrimmage at 39-yard line. David Dunn, I watched on the replay, Omnivision, threw it from the 41. Definitely a terrible call by the officials.
Pass thrown by Blanton. Catch is made. Out of bounds. This is Peterson, really rolled out of bounds. Dogs getting 20 points in the first quarter, but neither team has scored here in the second stanza. Blanton yet to get untracked himself. A guy who's shown flashes of brilliance this year, filling in for Tim Gutierrez. Now it's 2nd down and 5. Blanton. Intercepted, taken by Fresno State. Andre Deshay at the 30-yard line. The big guy brings it down. He wants it.
Oh, that's a great moment for Andre Deshay. One of the guys playing his final game here. But you're going to see great athletic play, too, by this guy, because he skies to make this interception. Andre Deshay going to be one happy guy on the flight back home. But there he is. He goes up with a fingertip grab. Another little juggling catch, kind of like Ron Papazian earlier in the game, although Pappy's a little more spectacular with the one-handed version.
Still, though, a nice athletic move.
And Blanton knows, oh, how did he catch that ball? And why do I have to go over here and try and make a tackle?
The spine turns into cartilage, as is witnessed by the quarterback Blanton. Another takeaway for the Dogs. The pitch to Brown. Brown to the 25, trying to get to the 25. And thanks for the surge by the Aztecs, didn't quite get there.
Well, you certainly have to give credit to the Fresno State defense, because they have given the Bulldog offense the football in great opportunities to score.
And don't forget, coming up in the half, Coach Sweeney reviews the first half, and the Bulldog Spotlight will have David Dunn, the KMPH News Break, and first half highlights and stats. All this coming up at the half. 2:22 left in the first half. Dogs lead 20-7. Michael Ross wide right. Dunn inside Ross to the right. Roberson to the left. Dunn against to Reggie Brown. Big hole to the 15. Fouls his way down inside the 10-yard line. What a hit by Reggie Brown. Powerful running by RB. This gain of 15-yard, make it a 14-yard pickup for Reggie Brown from the College of the Desert.
And did somebody get the number of that truck? Not a big hole, but he gets through it in a hurry, and there is the blow. Man, he just ran right over Ricky Parker like he was a speed bump on the highway.
Yeah, Parker, all-whack performer. And hammered to the turf.
He got whacked, all right.
Less than 2 minutes to go in the first half. Reggie Brown trying to get in to the 3 and push back.
And he actually made something out of nothing there. The hole was not where he thought it would be. He kind of hesitated, made a little stutter step, saw a little crack, and cut back. I'd say keep giving it to him until they stop.
Second down. Second and goal, ball at the 3-yard line. 1:16 left here in the half. Yes, sirree. Reggie Brown, and Brown, does he get it? Yes, he does. Touchdown, Fresno State.
Oh, and he did it with a lunge at the goal line. The one hand putting the football across the plane.
Aztecs not happy with the call. You see a lot of the Fresno State fans making the trip down to San Diego. Brown, 13 touchdowns rushing, 1 receiving. And that reception here tonight, first half.
Well, heading into the season, he had a great, or into the game, he had a great average. Every 6 times he carried the football, he scored a touchdown.
Johan Lasan. And the PAT is there. So it's 63 seconds left in the first half. Dogs now lead by 20, 27-7.
Fans a little while ago reacting to the replay on the scoreboard of the touchdown did not believe that Reggie Brown had crossed the plane of the end zone. Let's take a look and see what our angle shows. Should be a pretty good shot. You're going to see him take the hit near the goal line, but the right arm is going to lunge over with the football. Just the football has to cross the plane, and it just has to cross the very front of that white stripe. All it has to do is break the imaginary pane of glass. Oh, sure.
Yeah, I think
football came down at least on the line, if not on the end zone, half of the line.
I think he may have gotten it while he was up at his zenith up here even before. And I don't think reaching across was even necessary, at least because it was an early call by the official on the far sideline.
I suppose you could argue that his hand was down or that his shoulder hit before the right arm got across the plane, but that's a touchdown. The Bulldogs will take it, and they capitalize on a turnover by the defense. The interception by Andre Deshay.
Yeah, Brown has been the money man for the Dogs this year. 13 touchdowns and 81 carries. That equates to a touchdown every 6 carries. And certainly coming into his own, getting more playing time here in the second half of the '94 season. Turrigan to kickoff. More conventional this time, and it's taken at the 5-yard line. Peterson to the 20, 25, still going to the 27. Aztecs have 2 timeouts left here in the first half. 56 seconds to go in the half. And again, don't forget, we'll be hearing from the coach, Jim Sweeney. We'll also have stats, KMPH news break, highlights. And again, the spotlight this week is on David Dunn.
David Dunn, and boy, what an explosion on that kickoff return. Matt Vincent went down to break up the wedge, and he was wobbly coming off the field.
In trouble, Blanton goes down. Good job. Danny Williams got down there and sacked Blanton.
And that's another guy playing in front of family and friends here. He also, like David Dunn, out of Morse High here in San Diego. So you heard a little cheer over in one corner of the stadium. That's the Danny Williams fan club and Marching Chowder Society, as they say.
They were hoping for a crowd of about 30,000, maybe under that, on this cool night in San Diego. It rained a great deal today. But the field in good shape. Pass thrown, complete. Blackwell, nifty move at the 30, still on his feet. To the 40-yard line. Blackwell going to the 50. To the 40. Blackwell forced out of bounds on a healthy gain as he's forced out at the 31-yard line. 9 seconds left here in the first half, and a 49-yard gain by Blackwell.
Well, there was a case of missed tackles, but Blackwell did an awful lot of that himself, and you just hate to give up a big play like this with time running out in the first half. You want to take your 27-7 lead to the locker room, but here's one of the misses. Kind of Omar Stoutmeyer had a shot at him, but not a realistic shot. He really does most of this himself with some great open field running. You can expect the Aztecs now to maybe take a shot at the end zone. A little too deep for the field goal.
Aztecs calling a timeout. They have 1 more remaining. Again, 9 seconds left here in the half. Fresno State leading 27-7.
And if you're the Bulldog defense, you've got to make a stop here. You know, you just turn the ball over to your offense. You scored a touchdown. Then you can't let San Diego come right back and get one with so little time left in the half.
Tonight, our last football telecast of the year, but our basketball telecast schedule will begin 1 week from tonight, December 3rd. Second game of the Coors Light Classic. See it right here on KMPH Fox 26.
And remember, I said,
yes, Dogs will be there.
8 o'clock.
Yes.
The championship game.
They'll be in uniform. They won't be watching in the stands. Kevin?
Hey, guys, one of the sore thorns in Bulldog defense this year, actually the Bulldog football team, is that last 2 minutes of the first half. They've given up a lot of points. It's a big play. Let's take a look.
That's right, against CSU last week and 2 weeks ago against UTEP. Really hurting. Complete to Pittman, but he can't hold on to it. Incomplete. Pittman drops it. That'll stop the clock with 5 seconds to go.
Well, they're going to just have to go for the field goal now. It's going to be a long attempt, but you want to get something out of that.
Matt George will be the guy, and they use George on the longer attempts. And he can connect from this distance. No win whatsoever. And it'll be a 49-yard attempt. Yeah, he missed one of 29. That was too close for him. They used George on the longer attempts this year. Shorter ones had been Peter Holt. Did a 49-yard attempt. Won't have the distance. Nope. He is off the mark. May have had the distance, but just off the mark. So he misses. That's the end of the first half. And a half in which the Dogs get 20 in the first quarter, 27 and a half. 27-7 our score, and we'll be checking in with Kevin Sweeney momentarily. And a quick visit with the head coach of the Bulldogs. And we'll have stats in addition to highlights and much more coming up in a few moments. Right now, let's go down to Kevin.
Got to be proud of those Bulldogs first half.
Playing really good defense. It's hard to get used to that, you know, that fast break basketball and the grass stuff, but it's amazing. We had 2 linebacker interceptions, and that's been a big key. And Johan's kicking field goals. Excellent. What'd you think of the replay on that reverse pass?
Well, we commented. I said 2 yards. Brother Dan said 3 yards. Bad call, but the defense, DeShays makes a great play and got the ball back.
The San Diego State bench made the call.
Well, great job, Richie Donati's making big plays. Reggie Brown, once again, looking like a big-time back.
Looking at 3 deep vanilla defense, you know, all you got to do is get time to throw it, and you can throw it.
Good luck the second half. Back upstairs to you guys.
All right, thank you, gentlemen. Again, 27-7. The Dogs lead the Aztecs. We'll begin our halftime activities right after these messages. And welcome back to Jack Murphy Stadium in San Diego with Ralph Wood. I'm Kent Nordavanis. And Ralph, while 27 points is impressive, I think the fact that only 7 were allowed by the defense awfully nice. Been a long time.
That's a terrific effort by the Fresno State defense, giving up just 7 points. The only other time that happened earlier in the season, that's against San Jose State at home. They've also been able to force some turnovers. It's all in these wristbands. I'm telling you, this is the secret weapon. We're going to go with this from now on.
Hey, let's take a look and see what the wristbands did for the Dogs in the first half. This is Oliver, the first touchdown of the night, a 5-yard run.
Jerome Oliver becomes the workhorse for the Bulldogs. He sets a record for most carries in a single season. That was career carry number 250.
After a couple of big third down conversions, Blanton hitting Shear here for 40 yards. Got out in front of his man.
Yeah, he beat Rio Wells on that. The play before, Wells took on the running back and was injured, so they picked on him.
Reggie Brown has been the man. This is his first touchdown reception of the year. The man for much of the second half of the season. A 4-yard pass completion from Donati. A couple of field goals later, the Dogs got their last score of the first half. And once again, it was Reggie Brown. Did he or didn't he? I say he certainly did.
Well, we're not sure. We take a look at the replay. The contention was that he came up a little short of the goal line. You'll see him try and stretch across with the football. All it has to do is cross the plane, and he gets the football out there, and, well, you're not quite sure if he didn't come down a little short or if he did get it across. The Bulldogs will take it.
Yeah, Dogs did not get a good call, though, on the pass completion as done through one earlier in the first half for a touchdown. That was called back. A look at the first first half numbers brought to you by Pacific Bell Smart Yellow Pages.
I think one of the key numbers there, the turnovers. 2 interceptions. Ron Papazian had an interception. Andre Deshay had an interception. Lance Thomas forced a fumble early, and the Bulldogs on offense have been able to capitalize on those takeaways by the defense.
Dogs under control, leading by 20 points, 27-7. We'll be getting set for the second half kickoff in just a few moments. Rob, one question, though, about the Dogs in the second half. What's it going to take? We've seen some times where they've had a lead going into the first half, kind of let things slide a little bit. What about the second half?
Well, you certainly want to sustain the effort that you've had in the first half. You've already lost, though, a couple of defensive starters. Chris Rockwell out with that scary injury early in the first half. And they also, we talked about Rio Wells taking a hit and being injured, a little banged up. So they have some defensive replacements there. But so far, they've done a very good job defensively. You have to continue, though, to press it offensively and put some more points on the board. This is, after all, the Western Athletic Conference.
We'll see what's in store. A second half kickoff coming right up. And we're getting set for the start of the second half from Jack Murphy Stadium in San Diego. Aztecs trail 27-7. Armin Turigian to kick off to get the second half underway. Back to receive, Shear, flanked by Peterson. And this is Peterson. The 20, to the 30, the 35, and stop there. About the 36, make it the 37. First half, Reggie Brown, 9 carries, 47 yards. Donati was 13 for 24. No interceptions and 232 yards. Blanton was 14 for 20. Ralph pointed out, numbers pretty close there, although Blanton had 2 interceptions, 228 yards. You got to look at the numbers across the board for the sophomore from Santa Ana. Pittman, right side. Tough guy to stop in the first half. A nice pickup as we begin the second half.
Well, a flag came in from way in the backfield. The referee about 40 yards, I think, away from the play. In the defensive secondary, threw it in, and he picked it up and threw it in again. He saw a holding penalty from about 35 yards away.
That is the call. Yeah, Aztecs penalized 24 yards in the first half, 3 penalties. Again, time of possession has been with the Dogs, Jim Sweeney's team, who pointed out hasn't held the opposition to 7 points or less since the first game of the season.
Against the offense, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Repeat first down.
Defensively, Rio Wells is back in the game at cornerback. I think he just had to take some time to clear his head, because in the first half it was Wayne Pittman just running right over him and knocking him a little woozy. Larry Cook came in and filled in, but it's Wells at cornerback to start the second half.
Now first and 15 from the 32. Blanton on the draw. Pittman brought down by Demetrius Edwards, getting to the original line of scrimmage. Again, Chris Rockwell taken off the field on a cart. In with a bruised neck, shoulder, precautionary measures taken to a hospital. Jerome Oliver with the bruised shoulder is out. Injuries keep on coming. And again, if we hear any further word on Chris Rockwell, we'll pass it along. Oliver's was not obviously as serious, but Jerome not expected to play the rest of the night. Blanton up in the air, throws, complete, wide open. Blackwell to the 35-yard line, still going out of bounds at the 20. A couple of big pass plays have hurt the Dogs, even though Fresno State has a 20-point lead. This pass play of 43 yards.
And that's the problem, and that's the thing you have to guard against. A couple of big pass plays, and San Diego State is right back in the ball game. And it's Blackwell just absolutely wide open. This is about the 3rd time this has happened tonight, over the middle of the Bulldogs secondary.
Dogs have been fortunate. The Aztecs have made plenty of mistakes, whether it be missed field goals or penalties or drop passes. They certainly have themselves to blame for being down by this much of the half. Gain of a couple yards. Job by Shatoni Sargent. Gain of 2, 2nd down and 8. Second team all whack. Wayne Pittman thought, though, he should have been first team. Catch made. Maxwell out of bounds. Short of the first down. Third down and about 3.
I think you're going to see, well, I know you're going to see some new faces in the defensive backfield for Fresno State next year. That's going to be the focus of the recruiting of Coach Stephen Shagian. They're going to look to the junior colleges to get help immediately back there, both at the safety position, especially at the safety positions, and possibly at cornerback.
Now at 3rd and 3. Pittman brought down, but he punched it across. Has the first down. A heavy emphasis. Junior college trying to get that quick fix and get the team on track, improve the depth. Kraft shouting plays out to Blanton.
The Bulldogs will also be looking for help at inside linebacker, and then of course the big guys along the defensive line. But there's even some talk of Omar Stoutmeyer, who's a starting safety, can add some weight. He might be moved to the inside linebacker spot.
Pound for pound strong, but they want more weight out of Stoutmeyer. Pittman outside the 6-yard line. 2nd down and goal.
What they want most out of Stoutmeyer, I think, is his speed. If he can put on the weight and still keep his speed and also his savvy. He's, this is really his second full season here. He's only sophomore. And he could be an impact player in the inside linebacker position, more so than he's been at safety.
At 2nd down and 6, Pittman right side has some room, cutting it inside, and he won't get in. Pinches it down near the 1-yard line. And keep in mind, folks, Fresno State led UTEP at 24-6 before having to come back and tied the game. So we still have a full half to go, even though the Dogs lead by nearly 3 touchdowns. But that may be reduced to 2 in just a couple of moments.
Well, at halftime, the coaches from both sides are going to make adjustments, and you come out and see who's adjusted to what and who's made the better set of changes in the game plan and who can be more effective in the second half.
3rd down and goal from the 1-yard line. Pittman gets it, and does he get in? He does. Touchdown, San Diego State. One of the officials had the hands up in the air. The far sideline official did.
It's not a touchdown.
Tollner upset because, yes, indeed, the far official on Tollner's side of the field had both hands up in the air.
Omar Stoutmeyer, number 5, came flying in there with the opportunity to make the stop early, kind of slowed him down, and then the big hit delivered by Griggs, stopping him short.
So they will obviously go 4th down and inches. And they do get the touchdown. Pittman the dive. So with a good D in the first half, the Dogs appeared to be in control. Cole is still upset about that previous call. The touchdown.
Pittman's their answer to Reggie Brown. He's up and over the top, and he goes over Steve Kasner, 57, for the score.
But on the first drive, coming out quickly, the Aztecs on some big pass plays in excess of 40 yards. Peter Holt to attempt the PAT. And it's there. So San Diego State getting back in the game. And again, we have a lot of time left, only in the 3rd quarter. And the Dogs lead 27-14. We'll be back. Fresno State leading by 13, 11.5 left here in the 3rd quarter. Happy you joined us for football, Bulldog football, right here on Fox 26. Yeah, we had a feeling that it's going to get a little closer before Fresno State were to pull away. As the Aztecs have been scoring some points this year. Again, their defense has had problems also. We'll see what the Dogs do on the first possession here in the second half. Dunn to the 10, 20, 30, 35. Goes out of bounds. We'll see where they spot the ball. Near the 35. And boy, it's almost automatic. Another flag's been thrown.
San Diego State was offside on the kickoff. So Fresno State's going to have the opportunity to either make them kick it again and get a better run back, although that's right there. That's not hurting his average at all, is it?
29 yards, and that's his exact average. Number 1 in the nation, David Dunn, needing 55 yards, and he has gotten that tonight to set a WAC single season record.
Illegal procedure on the kickers. Will re-kick.
How many total yards would that be at kickoff returns for the game?
The old record was 984 for a season.
Well, so take that record back. He has to do it again. Zarosco's back there.
Well,
the previous one was 31 yards.
It just gives him another chance to break one.
By even bigger margin. Yeah, he's been incredible this year.
Well, that's probably why they took the penalty. What's the gamble here? You know, give him another shot. He's going to get you out to the 35-yard line anyway, and on any kickoff, this guy can go all the way. Even though, as Kevin during the commercial was telling us, we recognize none of the guys who are out there blocking for him. You know, that's another effect of the injuries. You have so many different guys. So even a greater credit that he can lead the nation in kickoff returns.
We've pointed out many times he makes it look so easy. Seems to be automatic when he touches the ball. Dunn will get it. Get you 30 yards, if not better than that. So this time it'll be teed up at the 30-yard line. With the 5-yard penalty. Dunn will take it. And to backtrack a bit. To the 20. The 25. The 30. And he just keeps going and going. And finally snowed under near the 37-yard line. David Dunn. Fun to watch him next year, however he is used, wherever it may be in the NFL. Dunn's a 27-yard return, so had that with his previous kick, and yes, he does set a new WAC record with that return. Charlie Jones to the near sideline. Roberson left. Fortier, the tight end. Sal Mexico at fullback. Mexico has been banged up and hurting the play because Oliver's out here in the second half. Catch is made by Roberson. First down, Fresno State. Eric Sutton knocks him out.
I guess that's the one good thing about San Diego State scoring that touchdown. If they don't score the touchdown, they don't kick off. David Dunn doesn't get a chance to run it back. He doesn't get his record, right?
If the Dogs don't get it done tonight, I'm not going to pass that good news along.
Okay.
Here is Roberson. Ralph, he's really been sure-handed for the most part here in 94.
And really, with the defender breathing right in his ear hole as he caught the football. That's great concentration.
From the 49. Brown still going. Brown, a nice run. Another first down. Kevin?
Rockwell is back on his way back from the hospital. The test results were negative, so he's going to be okay, and he's going to be back on the sideline hopefully later here soon.
Boy, great news indeed, yeah.
Exactly. With that damage that has happened in the past, and I think he's going to be okay, and hopefully he'll get back here and root his teammates on.
Well, I think they took all the precautions because of his history in that circumstance. He'd had that problem before. And, of course, when you get a thing like that, it's like sticking your arm into an electric socket. It just sends a shock right up your arm, and you know something's wrong.
Great news. Chris Rockwell, Reggie Brown had a 17-yard gain. This pickup pushes it to the 30. Gain of 4 yards. Right, Chornamud, the strong side linebacker with the Mohawk haircut out of Orange Coast College. And Reggie Brown on the night. 67 yards. 1 touchdown on the ground, 1 through the air.
He's carried it 11 times, and we've got it every 6 times he carries, he scores a touchdown. So they got to give it to him this play, right, for the average?
It may happen.
Go all the way.
It may happen. 2nd down and 5 from the 28. And Reggie Brown to the 25.
Well, there goes the average.
Julius McChristian, the strong safety.
Julius McChristian.
Take a look again. David Dunn out there making the block with the big stop, big open field tackle. Something not easily done against the load known as Reggie Brown. saw him on the previous play. Just hurdle a guy.
San Diego's defense a 4-3. Not a whole lot of blitzing, but playing much better of late.
Ball carrier, Reggie Brown.
Where they spot the ball as Brown takes it. And that will be the first down. Should be the first down. So Jim Sweeney, he liked the team's defense in the first half. And now with this drive, it's going to be spotted at the 24, so that would be the first down. And here come the Dogs to the right side. That's Roberson off to the left. Dunn, Jones, carry is Brown. Bring down the game. A little more than 1 yard.
To Reggie Brown.
Tackle from behind by Jamal Duff. They're doing a better job negating Duff in the second half.
And they're making him the workhorse, talking about Reggie Brown. They're just giving the ball left, giving the ball right, giving the ball up the middle, and trying to wear some of these guys down in San Diego's defensive front.
We talked about some of the bright spots, some of the surprises. Donati has to be a positive. I think Jerome Oliver filling in for Pittman. As Pittman got off to the great start for the Dogs and then injured, out for the year. After that, nice running by Reggie Brown. Catch is made, David Dunn. And then by Moore, gets away from Moore, pushed out of bounds. Short of the first down, however. Nice catch nonetheless by David Dunn.
Just the determination of this young man. We mentioned earlier, this is homecoming, and he wanted to prove something, and he's playing really like this is it. He told me earlier in the week he's leaving it all on the football field at San Diego this weekend, and there's the little spin move, and then he's going to show a little muscle, puts the head down, keeps the legs pumping, and picks up the extra yardage.
Officials will measure it. Dogs lead 27-14, 8:26 left in this, the third quarter, from Jack Murphy Stadium. Fresno State is short by hair. So third down and less than 1. San Diego State gave BYU a run for their money a couple of weeks ago. They had a Thursday night game, then had a bye week, so it's been a while since they've played. And another team that's had more than 1 week to prepare for Fresno State.
That's, I think, 5 teams mid-season. If you count Ohio State at the beginning of the season, that's another team.
At 3rd and 1 from the 14.
It's that new formation again, the 3 backs, the weak eye, they call it.
Louis Major in the backfield, and it's new for Louis and some of the boys. And now Donati turns around and says, we just got to call time. They still had 18 on the 25-second clock.
Timeout.
And the Dogs call a timeout.
Well, it's the first time they've used the formation in a game this year, and it showed, I guess. But the fact that Jerome Oliver is not in there kind of messes the whole thing up.
And Oliver out. Pass along early. Chris Rockwell. The X-rays are negative. And on the way back to the stadium. So great news indeed. And very scary, actually terrifying to watch it. Rockwell was being attended to earlier. And don't forget, tomorrow night at 8, tune in for one full hour of the most outrageous family on television. It's The Simpsons, following the best of the X-Files at 7 only on your station, KMPH Fox 26. By the way, congratulations, Lance Thomas, GTE, academic, All-American team, All-District 8 team. Great honor, and we mentioned earlier the Dogs headed to postseason bowl games. We'll detail that in a few moments, but that's encouraging for a lot of the seniors who are wrapping it up. As far as Fresno State tonight, they'll play later on in postseason bowl games. Hey, this week in Bulldog Sports brought to you by Glendale Federal Bank. Under Coach Linda Wonder, the women's basketball team returns an experienced combination of talent for the 94-95 season. More in a moment. In the push, did they get through? We'll see where they mark it. Aztecs say no.
No, they're not going to get a good spot on this one. That's going to be short of the first down, I believe.
Doug Tom, the stop. Reggie Brown got the carry.
The guy who came in from the far side to spot the ball was somewhere between the 14 and 15. Then the official from this side placed it a little closer, but it's still short.
Showing 4th down and 1. Dogs will be going for it.
Probably put that T-heavy backfield in there. Maybe give it to Reggie Brown again, or maybe do something off of this little play. You know, they have some other options. You don't always have to hand it off. You can bootleg. Donati can take it. Donati can pull it back and throw.
Brown, Mexico, and this is Reggie Brown. He dives, he leaps, and he gets it.
But that's the safe play. And very effective so far this year. Good formation for the Bulldogs. That T-heavy, it's just been a very effective short yardage situation for Fresno State. They've rarely been stopped in that situation when they go to that formation.
Reggie Brown out of Detroit has been the beneficiary in the T-heavy. Good part this year. Jim Sweeney looks on, his team leading by 13 points. Brown last week, 14 carries, 63 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He is 16 for 76 tonight and 2 touchdowns. Brown wants another to the 10, bulling his way forward. Boy, he is a horse. And there was an awful lot of talk about Reggie in fall, and they said, well, this is a guy who's very strong. SC wanted him. A lot of teams wanted him. We're glad we had him. And a little overweight, and didn't do a whole lot, didn't play a whole lot first half of the season. Big difference in the second half.
He's doing a whole lot here, and again, for the second time tonight, he meets Parker. That one was pretty much a standoff. Earlier tonight, he ran over Parker, as we said, like a speed bump. This one, a draw.
Brown was out with a hamstring injury earlier this year. Reggie to the 10, to the 5, inside the 5. Banging on the door again. Aztecs have not had much luck stopping Fresno State. Kevin, what do you got?
Yeah, it's about Reggie Brown. Reggie pulled a hamstring, if you remember, early in camp. He had to get his AA at Fresno City College last fall, so he was last spring, so he's unable to participate in spring ball, which is very difficult to come in and contribute early. Thus pulled the hamstring, and and also Kenny lost 22 pounds since fall camp started.
He still has the strength and running much better. Jim Sweeney pointed out that he had a quicker step second half of the season than what they saw earlier. This drive, excessive 5 minutes. Time off the clock. 6:33 left here in the third quarter.
What we've also seen is the ability of Reggie Brown to catch the football. He caught a touchdown pass earlier, and boy, that's an added dimension that's just a terrific plus in this offense. You've got not only have some of the greatest receivers in the country, the outside guys, you've got running backs in Jerome Oliver and Reggie Brown who can go out and catch the football for you. And the potential for big plays is just all over the field.
Well, this gives the Dogs another opportunity to try to punch it in. It's their 3rd down and inches again. What will they do? Why not the triple heavy? T-heavy. They do get the first down by, how far was it, Ralph?
About a half foot. It was close, but they got it.
Yeah. But they still want the triple heavy. They'll stay with it as they try to punch it in, and Reggie Brown won't get it.
Reggie Brown, the ball carrier.
2nd down and goal.
Well, they've pounded away at the left side of the San Diego State defensive line. That's, of course, Jason James' side of the offensive line. They've taken that T-heavy, given it to Reggie Brown, and he's slanted over the right side now. About 4 plays here. San Diego State really hasn't stopped it yet, although it kind of stopped itself there. They really, you just get everybody to the point of attack, and it blows up.
Fake to Reggie. Donati keeps it, and he walks into the end zone. Reggie Donati, why not? You keep going to Brown and Brown and Brown and Brown, and why not? Donati by himself, he ducks it in.
Absolutely the name of the game. You give him a look, you give him a look, you give him a look, you give him a look. You line up in the same formation, you figure they're going to do it again. Boom. Donati keeps the football, and he is all alone. Fake to Brown. He carries it out. Donati says, gee, I'm all alone.
This is not
nice.
right.
This is okay. I like this.
That was after Brown had 6 straight carries and 11 of 13 on the drive. So what a great call. Why not? Dogs lead 33-14. Johan Lasan with the PAT. Lance Thomas with the placement. It is perfect. And with 5:43 left in the third quarter, Dogs add into their lead. Fresno State 34. San Diego State 14. We'll have more from Jack Murphy right after this. Fresno State leading San Diego State now by 20, 34-14. Time left in the third quarter. And Armin Turigian set to go. And the squib kick drilled through. Picked up by enough back to the 30-yard line. And it's Mark Ziegler. You see the drive. And 5:49. A lot of it on the ground this time.
Well, we mentioned that out of that T heavy, they did have other options, and that was it. The Donati bootleg around the far side. But I get a chuckle out of just the headache that these wacky kicks have caused San Diego State. They have had problems with just about every ball that has been kicked to them by Turigian. The squibbers, the bloopers.
And then rough on the other end. San Diego State, for the life of them, can't keep the ball away from David Dunn when they kick off.
That's right.
Pittman right side. Strung out. Gain of a couple yards. And again, keep in mind, San Diego State, they too could have played the what-if game. They beat California. They beat Navy. And they almost beat CSU, lost a field goal attempt. Lost the game, and they missed a field goal attempt near the end of the game. Air Force beat them by a single point. And, of course, against BYU, lost by a touchdown.
No doubt about it. They've had some heartbreakers this year as well.
Moving the quarterback, Tim Gutierrez. Blanton throws. Well thrown, complete. Catch is made by Maxwell. Goes out of bounds. First down with a big pass play.
One of the defenders on the play over there was number 23, Marlon Jackson. He was in the game as part of the nickel package. They went to their nickel defense. Deshae came out, and Jackson went in. Now they come back. He comes out, and Deshae comes back in. So it's a series of adjustments for the Fresno State defense as they try and figure out a way to get a handle on this wide open and very explosive San Diego State offense. I mean, these guys will score points. That's what they've done throughout their history.
From the 38, Pittman about to get back toward the middle, getting by Holmes, but cut up by D. Edwards.
Also thought it was interesting, the first play of this drive, they tried a running play to Pittman, and you can hear a scattering of boos around here. People just not patient with him and say, well, throw the ball, that's what you're here for. Then they, of course, make the big gain when they throw the football. Kind of justifies some of the fans booing, but that's a little rough.
They do have a fine coach, and Ted Toner, well regarded. This is Peterson, near sideline, out of bounds. And of course, with its great passing attacks through the years, there's some frustration for not moving. And penalty flag thrown on the late hit, perhaps.
Well, that's late hit does not do that justice. You're going to see he'll be run out of bounds, and Ron Papazian, number 95, will come out, maybe put a hand on him, give him a little shove in the hip. That's what this is about, right there. A little shove in the shoulder, push him a little further out of bounds.
So the penalty, first down for the Aztecs. Each team has scored a touchdown in the third quarter. 4:22 left in the third quarter. San Diego State trailing Fresno State 34-14. We're calling it the California Bowl. Two teams trying to finish the season with the win and building toward 95.
Had to be face mask.
Blanton lets it loose, and it's broken up. Great job defensively. Woody Green down there, along with Andre Deshae.
That's terrific coverage by the big guy, Deshae, with the speedy Maxwell. Came up hobbled a little bit, but as he returns to the semi-huddle, There you see Woody Green also in the mix. Deshay kind of does a splits there. I think that's ouch. On a cold night like this, boy, that's really painful.
In trouble, Blanton snowed under. Down he goes. It was Holmes who started it and then finished off, I believe, by Shatoni Sargent. There's Holmes, number 50, and Sargent.
Another key factor will be number 5, Omar Stoutmeyer, coming on the safety blitz. He gets blocked, but that occupies a blocker and allows Sargent and Holmes to come in and finish the job.
They'll bring it back. 3rd down and 21 now at the 26. Blanton. Everyone well covered, now in trouble. Chased out. Look out. Being hunted by Williams. Trips him. He goes down. Danny Williams tripped him up. Blanton tried to keep his balance. Doing the tightrope back, and finally fell to the turf. Another big loss, and that'll take him out of field goal range.
Jim Sweeney on the sideline just has his hands up in the air. Great play by the sophomore Williams from San Diego. He does not give up on the play, and he stretches as far as he can to get a little piece of the shoe of Blanton, and he can't keep the balance and goes down. Takes him out of field goal range.
A 19-yard loss. Kaziski back to punt. He's had a good year for the Aztecs. And a short one. Not pretty. Yeah, the hometown fans getting restless. The natives getting restless indeed here at Jack Murphy Stadium. That ball will be put at the 28-yard line. A 16-yard punt. Breaking the action. We have 2:43 left in the 3rd quarter, and the Dogs leading by 20 points. .243 left in the 3rd quarter. Dogs leading 34-14. And Fresno State has played good defense tonight. They've had quite a few takeaways, particularly in the 1st quarter. We've seen some nice running by Reggie Brown. Donati's been on target. A lot of positives tonight. Final game of the '94 season. And Donati's numbers on the evening. From the 28, he'll give to Reggie Brown. Brown headed toward a 100-yard game. He has a career high 86 yards before this carry.
I wasn't sure what to expect from the no-huddle offense and how Fresno State would handle it on defense, but I have been pleasantly surprised. I think they've done a terrific job. The coaching staff, the coordinator Leon Burknett apparently has the answers to the test, and the players have been performing on the field.
We asked Leon earlier. I said, I can't recall any team that's done that for an entire game. And he said he did not recall. While they won't do it once they get down inside the 20, but they haven't been down inside the 20. They've scored from outside a couple times.
No, they haven't. When they actually have a key when they get down there, and they do actually really want to run a hurry-up offense, a no-huddle offense. They yell out, "Bonsai, bonsai," and that means everybody right up to the ball, get the play off and go. So that's kind of a key for the defense, but the Fresno State defenders have not been faced with that situation really tonight.
3rd down and 6 here for the Dogs. Jones right, Roberson left, Fortier the tight end on the right, Mexico the fullback. Fake to look out. Donati is hit from behind, blindsided as Craigus Thompson came in from the backside and hammers Donati.
And I'll tell you something, that he held on to the ball was really the big play there. This is a blindside. He has no idea. He is totally exposed. Wham! He gets hit right between the shoulder blades and does not cough up the football. I mean, I think 99% of the times in a play like that, the ball comes flying out.
Brown back of the 10. Pressure applied. Barely got the punt off. Peterson to the 40. And Peterson out of bounds. Andre Griggs and Overby got into it. Contact made, but then all of a sudden shook each other's hand as one up into the other.
You know what happened on that play was Griggs was on the coverage, and Overby just nailed him. A decleater. He didn't. It was almost like the Donati thing. It was a legal hit, but he just flattened him. And the Greats popped right up and hugged him. It's a good block. Good hit.
1:21 left in the third quarter. Blanton's team, Aztecs, down by 20 points. Pittman, and he has the first down. Zigzagging his way into the secondary. Gain of close to 16 yards. They've had success with Wayne Pittman tonight.
Well, Wayne Pittman has had success all year long, and this is another instance. Good blocking along the offensive line. There's a good hole for him to go through, and then again, he has the strength to make things happen, where Lance Thomas finally kind of wrestles him to the ground with some help.
And the gain of 17 gives him 113 for the night. 113 yards for Wayne Pittman. Why not? Pittman takes it. This time, wrestled to the turf, down by Kasner after a 1-yard gain.
Great individual play there by Kasner, because Zach Smith, the tight end, was blocking him on one side, and that was occupying the right side of his body. And he used the left side and the left arm to just wrap up the ball carrier and make the stop.
Quote on Kasner earlier, he's not a great player, he simply plays great. Getting the most out of his ability, in other words. Vacaville. Catcher's made. Short of the first down, and Blackwell goes out. Well, Blackwell.
That was the nickel defensive package again. Marlon Jackson, the guy on the coverage, number 23. He comes back out of the game now. They go back to Andre Deshay in the ball game.
So the Dogs trying to stop him here. Third down. Although it's definitely fourth down territory. And Overby has the first down. And Overby, the backup to Pittman.
Boy, they nearly had a problem over here on this side, because they had Blackwell out wide to the left, and Deshay was the only guy covering him. He had to ask for help before the ball was snapped to get one of the safeties over there. And I think it was Lance Thomas who came over there at the last minute to help out, but the play never went that way. They kept it on the ground. The quarterback, Blanton, never saw it, and they kept it on the ground. But they had a great matchup over here, Blackwell against Deshay.
Tell me that isn't before you.
And this is Overby, the ball carrier. We told you earlier the good news about Rockwell and how he will be back, if not back now, to watch the remainder of this ballgame after going to the hospital. And also congratulations to the Dogs selected to play in postseason bowl games, whether it be the Senior Bowl. Jason James will be in the East-West Shrine game and the Senior Bowl. David Dunn in the Senior Bowl.
Demetrius Edwards going to the Blue-Gray game. So he'll be playing on Christmas Day for the second straight year.
In Montgomery, Alabama.
Last year, D, along with the rest of the Bulldogs, playing in Honolulu, the Aloha Bowl on Christmas Day. It's a lot warmer there than it is here tonight. I heard someone outside the press box talking about this is Holiday Bowl weather. It is so cold, and Bulldogs hope they'll get to experience Holiday Bowl weather maybe next year.
It'll be Colorado State this year here at Jack Murphy Stadium. Pittman down to the 10-yard line.
And off the wing, Pittman.
Nice cutback against the grain by Pittman. The original hole was not there. He cut it back inside and picked up some extra yardage.
So that's the end of the third quarter here from Jack Murphy Stadium. Aztecs being stubborn, not going down easily. Fresno State still in control, leading by 20. Back with the fourth quarter right after this. Fresno State leading San Diego State 34-14. We begin the fourth quarter. Don't forget, Monday night, Pepperdine comes calling for basketball. Selden Arena. Anthony Pell, 7-footer, looking forward to a great year. McCullough, he had a lot of boards in the game against the Aussies. The pitcher, Pittman, And Pittman, did he get in? Nope, bounced at the 1-yard line. Went down at the 1. Dogs leading by 3 possessions. But that's going to change here in a matter of moments, it would appear, unless Fresno State can do a remarkable job. It is first and goal. About 1 inch out. Pittman, yes, touchdown, San Diego State. Again, folks, we have a full quarter to go, so stay with us. There have not been any guarantees this year. Pittman has been limping for a good part of this game, except when he has the football in his grasp.
Well, I think he actually aggravated something on the previous play when he was tripped up and kind of tumbled down toward the 1-yard line. He was slow getting up then, but he sucked it up for the one play to score the touchdown.
And the PAT is there. So with a full quarter left, 14:50 left in the game. It's getting closer, folks. Dogs lead by 13. Dogs lead by 13. Time left in the 4th quarter. We want to welcome Wathan Castanos as a new sponsor of Fresno State Sports on KMPH Fox 26. Wathan Castanos building a tradition with their newest development, Glen Eagles at the Highland in northeast Fresno. Glad to have you on board. And folks, you're on board for the final 15 minutes. Well, 14:50 to be precise. And the Aztecs closing the deficit to 13. 34-21. Pointed out earlier, a couple of teams very hungry for a W. Finish the season on a positive note. And it's down at the 15-yard line. Burke downs it. The Dogs weren't sure whether their ball was going to roll out of bounds, whether Dunn would get to it or not. Burke did, and he was pinned to the turf by his teammates. Want to make sure that it's one thing to be down at that 15-yard line or so, but you don't want to lose the ball. And the Dogs will start from there. Dogs would help themselves out dearly if they can just get a drive going again. They've moved the ball pretty well tonight. Brown has not been brought in the game much to punt. Reggie Brown, and that's not much there.
And off to number 4, Reggie Brown.
John Brown from Livermore, the Dogs punter. Well, what you need here, Kent, is, as you mentioned, a sustained drive. You need to put some more points on the board. What you don't want is 3 and out. You give the ball right back to San Diego State.
Yeah, the stats are about identical. In fact, total yardage may be in favor of San Diego State at this point. They've had the ball most of the 3rd quarter. We're in the 4th quarter now. On a 2nd down and 9. Roberson right. Dunn left. Donati. Catch is made, but short gain. That's Mexico. 3rd down.
Donati getting a good pass protection. Carr doing a pretty good number on Duff there, and it's an off-balance throw and actually an off-balance catch by Sal Mexico.
So 3rd down and 4. Needing to get to the 25-yard line for the 1st down. You see what the Dogs have done tonight in 3rd down conversion. Here comes the blitz. The pass is complete, but will they get the 1st down? Let's see where it's spotted. Dunn makes the catch. And he's going to be short, I believe.
That's going to be very close, but boy, he was in the grasp of the defender as he brought in the football. It's going to be close. I don't think he had to get quite to the 25, and he's not. This may be inches short.
Yeah, I think you're right. I'm afraid you're right.
Oh, boy.
And the Dogs, boy, they will be going for it. 4th down and inches, and this is a little risky, folks, because if you don't get it, Within a matter of moments, the Aztecs could be down by a single touchdown.
What you can also do here is you can send your guy up to the line and try and draw him offside with the change in cadence.
Reggie Brown, he does not get the first down. The Aztecs take over. Scott Blade with the hit.
Well, they went to the well one too often out of T heavy. It's been Reggie Brown to the right side of the line, and Blade says, I'm just going to shoot that gap and meet him in midair.
Yeah, Brown climbed the ladder to get up there, but so did Blade, climbing the backs of his teammates. And a crowd of under 30,000 coming alive here at Jack Murphy Stadium. For all the day's news, tune in to the KMPH 10 o'clock news tonight and check out the Extra Point Bulldog highlights and previews of Sunday's NFL matchups. It's the Extra Point tonight only on the KMPH 10 o'clock news. Pittman hit by Stoutmeyer. Fresno State leading 34-21.
Stoutmeyer coming up playing the good run support. I'm still looking for one of those favorite plays of theirs, which has been the screen.
Dogs could use a takeaway. Pass thrown, wide open. Hawkins has it. Touchdown, San Diego State. The Dogs were certainly aware if they didn't get the first down what the risk was, and it was high. Taking advantage of it, San Diego State.
And that's just Briggs has no chance. He passes him off to nobody. There's no one back there helping, and that is wide open for the touchdown. And that's WAC football. I mean, it just changes from one moment to the next.
The PAT is good. Beginning the fourth quarter, Aztecs a couple of scores, 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter, and folks, they are down by just 6 points. We'll be back.
Welcome back to Jack Murphy Stadium. Bulldogs 34, Aztecs 28, but more importantly, Chris Rockwell's healthy. Chris, good to see you back here.
You too, Kev. How's it going?
It's going okay. Are you feeling okay? I'm sure more importantly, people want to know how you're feeling in Fresno.
Yeah, I'm doing okay. Just a lot of pain, but nothing structurally wrong with my spinal cord, and that was the important factor.
Well, you had a great career here, pal. I know you want to get back and root your friends on. It's going to be a tough one. Barn burner once again in San Diego.
Yeah, I think we can do it. We've been playing good ball. Just things haven't been going our way, but we're ready to kick some tail on these guys and finish up on a good note.
Pal, thanks for your efforts.
All right, thanks, fellas. Chris Rockwell and Kevin Sweeney done to return to the 20. Spun down near the 22 to the 23. So 12:05 left in the game. Yes, barn burner indeed. But what else? The Aztecs and the Dogs get together in a rivalry that dates back to the 1920s. And a 6-point lead for Fresno State.
Well, in less than 3 minutes, the Bulldogs have seen 14 points of their lead evaporate. That last drive took 35 seconds, 2 plays. Blanton with the touchdown pass to Hawkins, and yeah, we're ready for the fourth quarter.
12:05 left in the game. Jones right, Roberson left. Donati. Time, he throws, complete leaping catch by Roberson. First down, Fresno State. Brian Roberson, I'm sure in a previous life he was a bird or something that flew, because he loved to get up in the air. Gain of 17 yards.
Well, the cornerback, Eric Sutton, is playing off Roberson, which gives him a chance to do what he does so well. You can see he's wide open before Sutton comes up to catch him, number 24. And you'll take those underneath patterns until you think you can break a line.
Reggie Brown hammered as soon as he got the ball. That'll be a loss. Level. Leroy Glover just got right in there. Shrugged off the man in front of him. And a tackle for a loss of 1 yard.
Such a good player. We really have not called his name that often tonight. He has not been making the big plays, but that's certainly a big one. And getting to this point of the ball game, This is when you make the big plays, make the money plays. These guys have gotten a great shot of emotion and adrenaline now.
Donati on the move. It's complete. First down, Fresno State. Brian Roberson. Been the favorite receiver. Got to be tough for Donati. He loves Roberson, but he's got a couple other talented receivers. This gain of 15 yards done, along with Charlie Jones.
I almost don't even have to look to tell you who caught the ball. Look at that, 9 catches, 186 yards. Great night for Brian Roberson. He's going to have to keep it up, though, because I'm not sure the Bulldogs have enough points yet to win the football game.
11:05 left in the game. 34-28, Fresno State. The Dogs with the lead. Donati sending J. Arnold right. Latire Rochelle to the left. Donati gives the ball to Brown. Brown tripped up. His feet cut out beneath him. Gain of a yard, maybe 2.
Craig Thompson was coming on a blitz on the outside. It's fortunate Donati didn't keep the football because he was in the backfield in a hurry. But, of course, overran the running play.
Charlie Jones to the left. J. Arnold to the right. Again in the backfield. Mexico and Reggie Brown. 3-step drop. Pass complete. J. Arnold has it. First down, Bulldogs. He fumbles the football. Let's see who's recovered. Aztecs say they have it. The officials have yet to indicate. And recovered, I would assume, here by Fresno State. And Jason James may be the man who came up with it.
Indecisiveness on the part of the official right at the play. Not sure if he left the ball behind either, but there comes Jason James into the fray.
And short by about a foot, Kevin.
Hey, guys, Arnold missed the game last week because of a bad knee. He's got a little bit of a torn cartilage inside of that, and that hard shot on his knee, I'm sure that's a scary deal with all the pain he's been having in recent weeks. Had to be scary with a guy flying in his legs like that.
Kevin, you played in the NFL and, of course, with the Bulldogs. This is pretty incredible, though, the number of injuries this year.
It is unbelievable, you know, and to top it off, and something I don't think that's ever been added, is Jim Sweeney has his back operated with a ruptured disc in May, has the angioplasty. I mean, you know, a guy who's 65 years old and watching his team fall apart like this. Emilio Botello, I think maybe one of the reasons they went for it on 4th down, the long snapper is laid out on his back because he got hit hard, had a hard block on a punt return, so it's incredible.
Part of the equation and opting to go for it rather than risk a poor snap or block punt. And Reggie Brown puts back. Boy, give the Aztecs defense some credit. They've stiffened up here in the second half, pushing the Dogs back. Abo Avician, the backup to Leroy Glover, led the charge and the surge for the Aztecs.
They're going to be short again, but Jim Sweeney goes for it back on his half of the field. He's certainly going to go for it on 4th down here.
4th down. Less than 1. 10 minutes to go in the game. 34-28. Fresno State leading the Aztecs of San Diego State. Some confusion now. Arnold comes out. Heavy. Reggie Brown has the first down, and Reggie going downtown. Touchdown, Fresno State. Brown the score. Boy, they were all piled up looking for Reggie to dive again, and he said, hey, I got some running room here.
Well, that's what can happen on a play like that because you get everybody stacked up there on the line, and I think he was looking to go off tackle and then saw he could bounce it outside and go all the way, and that's, of course, the preferred option. Take it for the touchdown, Brown.
And the Dogs now leading 40-28. So after the Aztecs climb within a touchdown, less than a touchdown, Dogs come back and score quickly. Still, there's time, 9:41 left in the game.
I think they're talking over the 2-point possibility here. Try and make it a 14-point game.
Brown, 27 carries, 127 yards, and 3 touchdowns on the ground.
Yeah, Johan Lassan has taken the helmet off, so I think they're going to go for 2 here to make it a 14-point game. 14-12. It does, if they miss and it's a 12-point game, 2 touchdowns beat you. If you go for 1 point here and it's a 2 touchdowns, still beat you because it's in a 13-point game. So you try and go for 2, make it a 14-point game. And of course, the issue with the Aztecs. I mean, if they want to go for a victory down there, they'll have the opportunity to try and go for 2.
Aztecs required 2 possessions. And here we go. 2-point conversion. Brown, Major. Not appear to be the T heavy with extra wide receiver in, just the 2 running backs.
Donati looking at one of those wristbands that all the defenders have. He's calling the play off the wristband, so be interesting to see what this is.
Donati over center, raises his right leg, wants to pass, open, Dunn, he has it. They get the 2 points. David Dunn. So the Dogs get the 2-point conversion, lead 42-28. We'll be back with more. Stay with us, folks. Going to be a good finish here from Jack Murphy Stadium. Fresno State leading 42-28, getting the 2-point conversion. By the way, Ralph made mention of downtown Brown. The 14 touchdowns rushing this season matches Ron Rivers' 14 TDs he had last year. So TD Brown gets in. And Fresno State now leading 42-28. This is always fun. The tight ends, as this is Smith. Zach Smith picks it up. And at the 28 or so. And again, 9:36 left in the game. There's the drive. 77 yards. And a 38-yard touchdown run by Reggie Brown. Thinking first down, and he got the touchdown. Complete to Peterson. Papazian just about ripped his head off.
Yeah, good hard coverage by Papazian. Coming up quickly and taking him up high. Ron Papazian, another one of the seniors, playing his final game for Fresno State. Started like something like 25 games in a row for the Bulldogs, and there you see the big hit. Watch Blanton after he delivers the ball. Kasner comes in and takes him down.
To about the 48-yard line. And they've done some work here, Blackwell, on the pass plays. And a healthy gain. So first down. Let's pick up a 15 yards. Ball at the Aztec 47. Aztecs have 3 timeouts remaining here in the game. Blanton flushed out on the move, pinched in and brought down by Kasner and Williams.
Yeah, Williams made the initial hit. Kasner then with the right arm tried to strip the football. That's a heads-up play. But you know what the Bulldogs did by scoring that last touchdown, not only extending their lead, but it really kind of deflated San Diego State. You had the crowd going, people here were standing, the flags were waving, the band was playing, and now it's quiet except for some guys banging drums down there.
And those drums, red drum, Fresno State's band here is still on his feet once again. And the problem for much of this year, you get a hit, but you can't stop the ball carrier or the receiver. And this time Rio Wells couldn't sustain the hit. Extra yardage for the first down.
Wells, another one of those young men who's playing hurt. This is really a healthy running back or a healthy defensive back. Just lives for an opportunity like that to be able to nail a guy when he doesn't know you're there. But Pittman actually knocks Wells down again, as he did earlier in the game, and really kind of rang Wells' bells.
On the draw to Pittman. Brought down from behind, Demetrius Edwards.
And off to Pittman.
7:57 on the clock is moving. Dogs have a timeout remaining. Again, 3 for the Aztecs.
More defensive changes for Fresno State. Wells comes off. You saw him lower the shoulder into Pittman on that play. Well, he's dragging the shoulder now. That's hurting.
Cook back in as defensive back, and this pass is almost picked off. Green had his hands on it. It was intended for Peterson. 3rd down and 8. A big stand for the Dogs here, and leading by 14 points.
And that would have been a tough interception, but watching the sideline as the trainers work on Wells down there, he's obviously in some pain. Probably as are many of the Bulldogs who are still playing. It's just been an unbelievable year for injuries and hurts and misfortune.
And taking it, Blackwell on the move. He's got speed, and he has 6 points. Fans braving the cool weather, but watching the Aztecs score their 3rd touchdown here in the 4th quarter.
I want to see if the replay picks up Griggs' 54. No, he's already done. I mean, they just took him out of the play before he could even get there. And that really kind of opens things up for Blackwell, who did the rest, turns on the Jets, and he's gone.
Peter Holt. And he connects on the PAT. We told you folks, don't wander off. Right, with the Aztecs and the Bulldogs, it's now a 1-touchdown game. 42-35. Fresno State leading. 7:24 left in the game. And a reminder this week in Bulldog Sports, brought to you by Glendale Federal Bank. And the women's basketball team returns an experienced combination of talent for the 94-95 season. This Thursday, December 1st, Dogs host San Francisco. Tip-off 7 o'clock in the North Gym. You want to come out and support the Dogs? For ticket information, call 278-DOGS. This Thursday through Saturday, December 1st through the 3rd, the Fresno State women's swim team will travel to Long Beach to compete in the Speedo Cup Invitational. Dogs back home, though, to take on San Jose State and Loyola Marymount on Saturday, January 28th at 1 o'clock. We'll double-check the dates again for you, and that'll be at Clovis West Swim Complex. This week in Bulldog Sports has been brought to you by Glendale Federal Bank. Again, we'll double-check the dates given to us for that. There, the total yards. Yeah, San Diego State, 530 yards.
We still have half of the quarter to play, don't we?
7:24 left in the game. Brought down to the 20-yard line.
One of the few times you will see David Dunn brought down like that so easily, and that he saw a little crack there and was just about ready to really turn it on.
So the Dogs hoping to run some time off the clock, get a drive, get it downfield, and get another 6 points. Again, leading by 7. Fortier tied into the right. Reggie Brown. Nothing at all for Reggie. And he really has been a workhorse tonight. Craig Thompson, weak side linebacker, and we talk about the strength of Reggie Brown, but we've seen the good speed once he bounces and moves out laterally. Begins to turn the corner. Race downfield for some healthy gains.
That's why he is such a valuable ball player and why so many other schools wanted him. He gets the tough yards, and that's what you really like about the guy, and he keeps on coming.
6:44 left in the game. Clock ticking down. Second down and 9. Donati up in the air. He throws incomplete, almost picked off. Flags thrown. Pass interference on Sutton. Pass. I didn't think it was intended for Roberson, but apparently that was the case because it went by another Bulldog. There's the pass interference call on Sutton.
Well, you had one of the guys crossing short of him, but yeah, he had guys all over him as the ball arrived. Let's take a look at the replay. And you're going to see number 24, Sutton, climbing over Roberson.
Against the defense, it's a spot foul, automatic first down.
So an automatic first down right there at the 31.
But the replay to me didn't look as flagrant as it did during live action.
A 7-point Fresno State lead. Jones right. Roberson left. Donati. It's complete. The leaping catch by Roberson at the 47. First down, Fresno State.
Well, we've been calling it all night long. Donati to Roberson. Roberson this time goes up and makes the catch. We're going to have a tough time picking our player of the game tonight.
Yeah, a lot of candidates. Brown has played well. Roberson
gets a rest now. David Dunn comes in to relieve him, and that's not a rest for the defense, I can tell you that.
Roberson, 10 catches, 203 yards. Reggie Brown. Maybe a yard. Second down, perhaps not.
He's even starting to look a little tired. I don't know if he's carried the football this many times in the game before, not at Fresno State anyway, but certainly had a terrific night tonight.
29 carries for Brown, 132 yards. 5:42 left in the game. 42-35. The Aztecs trail Fresno State. Jay Arnold to the right. Jones inside Arnold. Donati being pursued from behind. Gets rid of it. Complete. Catch made by Arnold. First down, Fresno State. Jay Arnold makes the grab. Tumbled out of bounds. Boy, do the Dogs have some depth in the receiving corps. We talk about the injuries and lack of depth in other positions, but they're well stocked when it comes to wide receivers and a guy to get the ball to him.
Well, there was great defensive coverage by but watch, you're not going to see number 4. Christian was coming in on a blitz from the far side, but that's good concentration on the part of Arnold. When you get a defender out there waving his arms in front of you, trying to distract you, and you look that ball in and make the catch, that's a big play.
Dogs have the lead. They have the ball now in Aztec territory. 5:22 left in the game. Ross to the left. Give to Reggie Brown. Cuts it back to the middle. Lowers the head. Gain of 3, maybe 4.
And off to Reggie Brown.
Second down.
And just when you say he's getting tired, he comes up with a run like that where he adds a little burst at the end and punishes the defender. I think maybe the closer he gets to the goal line, the meter starts running a little higher. You know, he senses that goal line and a chance for another touchdown and gets a little added energy.
Smell for the first down or the touchdown. Now a second down. Call it 7. Jones, bottom of your screen, top of your screen. That's Brian Roberson out of the eye. Burke, the fullback, lofted up in the air, looking for Charlie, and he can't make the catch. Just beyond the diving Charlie Jones.
He had a step on him on Sutton, the defender. That would have had to have been a perfectly thrown pass. Remember earlier in the game, he did throw one just like that to Roberson, dropped it right over his helmet and into the arms. But just a little too far out in front of Charlie Jones to make the catch.
And even though a little long, I like the pass. I don't think it's as risky when you get it out there. And
no, better to be.
Case, yeah, if he can't catch it, the defender's not going to catch it.
That's right.
So on 3rd down and 8.
Big play here because you're not in field goal position yet. And you need to keep the drive going.
Ross and Roberson in on the near sideline. Kind of a fake to Brown. Donati throws. Catch is made. First down, Fresno State. Nope, they got about an extra 2 yards getting to the forward stake. Donati hits his wide receiver. And he's getting it done tonight.
We've got isolation on the quarterback and the receiver. What we probably will not see is a terrific match. Chris Burke, number 40, throws a block on Jamal Duff. And he got up and hit him again. But there's the throw. And there's Roberson falling down, getting back up and making the catch. But you're talking about Burke, not one of the big guys on this team physically, going against the 6'7" Jamal Duff. First he cut him and knocked him down. Duff got back up to his feet. And then Burke got right in his face and hit him again.
First down with it. Time left in the game. Dogs lead by 7. Reggie Brown getting a block from Burke. Straight arms a man. Play strung out.
Ball carrier, Reggie Brown.
4:19.
Well, it's a good time-consuming drive, which is just perfect for the situation right now. You want to take it down as far as you can under 2 minutes, put some points on the board, whether it be a touchdown or a field goal, and try and keep it out of reach of San Diego State to come back with the opportunity to score a touchdown and tie it by kicking the extra point or even go for a 2-point conversion.
Lead by 7 here. You might say, well, what difference does it make if the Dogs win? You know, what's the difference? 5, 7, and 1. 4, 8, and 1. It's a big deal, folks, to come in and play an Aztec team that has been tough on some opponents and simply get a win, finish the year with the win. Is Brown to the 20. Lowers the head. He has the first down. Reggie Brown.
Almost the same as the touchdown run earlier out of T. Heavy. He bounced it outside and got an opening out there. Got some good blocking. They sealed off the outside. And here it is again. He takes the handoff. Burke goes in and makes a block. Blades goes down. And there's another one of those big hits on McChristian by Reggie Brown.
3:30 left in the game. Good night for Reggie Brown. Brian Roberson has played well. Roberson 213 yards in receptions, 11 catches. It's been a nice drive, running time off the clock, holding on to the ball with the lead and looking for more points.
And we're getting down to Brownville, as they say. Inside the 20, get down near the goal line. You're going to give him the ball as much as he'll take it and set something up here.
This drive began more than 4 minutes ago. Ted Tollner can't do much. Aztecs do call a timeout. Fresno State has 1 remaining, and San Diego State with a couple left. Tickets available for the Bulldogs' next home basketball game. We told you they'll take on Pepperdine at Selland Arena. That'll be on Monday at 7:30. Call 278-DOGS for more ticket information. I know we talked about 23 points on, was it Tuesday night against the Aussies. We mentioned that the basketball team, I saw a couple of picks at middle of the WAC, but then I think he talked to some other officials in the WAC, and they said, I think Fresno State will be the surprise team in the WAC this year. So look forward to seeing that.
Well, yeah, they haven't done anything yet. They've played a couple of practice games, and they've looked awfully good. But there are some guys like Darnell McCullough who really look as good as advertised. Dominic Young at point guard, I think, is going to be terrific.
The latest breaking news, tune in 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. KMPH News Radio 107.5. You're here, Ralph. Here on 107.5. Write it down. And listen tomorrow. Hopefully you'll be hearing about a Bulldog win, holding on to beat the Aztecs. But again, of course we will. 3:03 left in the game. And they could certainly help their cause with a score here. And Reggie Brown. Boy, he's been incredible tonight. All the pounding he has taken, plus the pounding he has delivered.
Well, he's really
healthy
come
right now. Look at him. He looks fine.
He's really come on the last few games, the last couple of games especially. And yeah, he has given the coaching staff a glimpse of what he holds in the future for Bulldog football. And he's going to be a major force on the team next year.
The Aztecs call a timeout. Brown now 152 yards, 34 carries. Monday night at 8 o'clock. Tune in to the hottest address on television, Melrose Place. Called at 9 by the extraordinary family drama, Party of 5. That's Monday night right here on your station, KMPH Fox 26. With our final football telecast, I want to thank our producer, director, Howard Zuckerman, executive producer, Lisa Markham, also the assistant athletic director, media relations, Scott Johnson, and his assistant, Dave Haglund. Also Kevin Sweeney down on the field, and certainly Ralph. It's been a fun year for football. We'll have a basketball game to do in a couple of weeks, but again, our thanks to all those folks and the great crew we've had throughout the game, whether it be in Fresno or here on the road.
That's exactly right. It's been a great experience for myself, and pleasure working with you. I thank you for all of your insight and all of your help helping me in this business, and yeah, I'm looking forward to more.
We will see in a couple of weeks a game in San Jose, but our next telecast will be basketball. Steve Biziak and Ralph will have a call 1 week from tonight. Again, hope you'll get out there and catch the Dogs Monday night in person. Brown leaps. He does. He gets.
Wow.
The flying Reggie Brown show.
Touchdown Brown, huh? That's the way to wrap it up. There's a guy who just told everybody tonight, look out for me next year in the Western Athletic Conference because I'm coming after you. And the way he ends the run, up and over and in. Another touchdown for Touchdown Brown, and that just about puts it in the refrigerator.
Dogs with a lead now 48-35. And again, just 2:53 left in the game. And you can hear the hammer going on the nail, being driven into the coffin. And Johan Lasan connects.
Yeah, good job by Lance Thomas to get that snap down, too. Let's take a look at it again, and there you see the guy get out of the grasp of Leroy Glover. That's not, or Leroy Glover. That's not easy, but the last elevation, you thought this guy was dog tired after carrying the football 34 times. He gets close to the end zone, and I'm getting there.
Well, we figured we'd have a few points scored in this one. We talked about before these two teams. Well, 2 years ago, the emotional game won by the Dogs here in San Diego, 45-41 in the closing minute, closing seconds of that game. Last year at Fresno State won 63-37, and here tonight 49-35. The Dogs lead. That's 157 points in the 3 games.
And you know, we talked earlier about San Diego State having the extra week plus of preparation. The 5th team this year that's been able to do that, 6 if you count Ohio State at the beginning of the year. Fresno State had not beaten any of those teams that had that extra time to prepare. They lost to all with the exception of UTEP, which they tied. And so that makes this one even better, that your opponent has had so much extra time to get ready, and you've been able to put together a game plan and, more importantly, execute the game plan, which has been a bugaboo, the lack of consistency, but the execution has been there tonight, offensively and defensively.
Yeah, particularly so on this last drive of nearly 80 yards in 4.5 minutes. Who's got it? And really, the Aztecs in dire straits here. They have just a timeout left. They are down by 2 touchdowns. And just 2:50 left in the game.
You know, after seeing this, teams may never kick off conventionally to San Diego State again. I mean, that looked like a bar of soap. It bounced off one foot, off another foot. I think it hit a guy's nose.
I wonder why the Aztecs wouldn't apply the same tactics when they kick off. (49-35). Well, you like to finish the season on a positive note. And a win here for the Dogs would certainly do just that.
And you feel so good for the seniors, you know, to send them out with a win after, you know, you think back on it. The guy has already gone to his last practice session. He's already, well, he's about to take his last plane ride with the team. All the things that that you've done for, in some cases, 4 or 5 years as a routine. It just all of a sudden, one night, it ends. It's no more. And to be able to remember, well, we did win that last game, is going to help.
Blanton, he'll run the football to midfield, goes out of bounds. Yeah, for a few select individuals, they'll have postseason play, and a few others onto the NFL. But for a lot of guys who are just good journeyman players and really worked hard, this is it tonight. And certainly satisfying, though, to finish with a W. Again, each team has a timeout left.
Jim Sweeney was telling me during Coach's Corner earlier this week on the 10 o'clock news that actually some of the underclassmen are anxious to get the seniors out of here. Let's send them out with a win and let us get in there and start to take over.
Catch is made. This is a first down. Hawkins, who had a big reception earlier, brought down. And again, still 2:26 left in the game. The clock being stopped with the first down. With just the one timeout left, they'll have to use it judiciously. The Aztecs will. They're thinking score, onside kick, take their chances. Down by 2 touchdowns. Blanton with time, gets it off. Blackwell has it, gets away from Griggs, and another first down.
Well, they're doing a great job of working it down the field and using the clock. They're not taking a great deal of time off the clock. They're taking what they could get here. Little outside patterns, run to the sideline to stop the clock.
Kevin?
Ralph, they run the 2-minute offense all game long, so they should be pretty efficient at it here.
They haven't run it this well all night.
You know, they only have like 650 yards total offense. That's pretty good. 550, sorry.
First down and 10. Ball at the 21-yard line. You get a little nervous for the Dogs. You lead by 2 touchdowns. But right now, the Aztecs are picking up 10, 12 yards a crack. Although this one less than that, maybe 6. Maxwell takes it as he goes out of bounds. But again, maximizing that clock, just 2:07 left. The receptions. First down, stopping the clock. Now a second down and 6. Blanton's numbers on the night. Yeah, I don't think you can ever get comfortable when you play against Billy Blanton. Coming from a great program in Santa Ana, modern day. Wide open, Blackwell makes some moves and gets inside the 5.
The Bulldogs have 5 defensive backs in the game now. They know what San Diego State's going to do. And just as I say that, they bring one of the defensive backs out and put Kasner back in the game. Marlon Jackson comes out. They'll try and tighten things up here down near the goal line and keep the Aztecs out of there.
Staying in the air now with the quarterback. Blanton sends Hawkins in motion. With some time, he throws, deflected, but it's caught by Blackwell, who's pushed back to the 5-yard line. The pass was deflected and ricocheted into Blackwell's hands.
Somebody got a piece of that, and it was up for grabs. Blackwell, fortunately for the Aztecs, in the right place at the right time. Papazian for the Bulldogs, fortunately there to keep him out of the end zone.
Shatoni Sargent got a hand on it, I believe. Coming off a 21-11 season and an NIT quarterfinal finish. The Bulldog basketball team under Gary Colson has a great future. We talked about the 3 7-footers, and you can get your season tickets. Get them now. Going to be a good year. 278-DOGS for more information. The basketball players tuned in, trying to keep tabs. Their buddies who are playing football tonight.
Absolutely, they're all watching. Devon Satterwhite's watching. Anthony Pell, I'm sure, is tuned in. Brandon Baki's watching for sure. All of those guys doing good things at Sound Arena in those first 2 exhibition games and looking for big things from them the rest of the season. Once the season starts and the rest of the season. And as I said before, I think they're going to surprise some people.
Some fingernails may have been shortened, reduced tonight with what's going on here, at least in the last minute or so, because the Aztecs trying to put it in the end zone again. They're down by 2 touchdowns. So give San Diego State a chance with an onside kick. Get another crack at it. They have done a great job using very little off the clock here on this drive. All right, here we go. Second down and goal. 49-35. Fresno State leading San Diego State. Blanton on the move, throws, incomplete, couldn't hold on to it. Shear was in the end zone, but bangs off his body.
Shear was up in the front of the end zone. Blackwell was at the back of the end zone, and Lance Thomas just gave him a shot to the chops, made sure he wasn't going to be a factor in the play. But you know they're going to throw the football because anything less than that doesn't stop the clock.
It's been a statistician's nightmare. 1,123 total yards between the two teams. San Diego State almost 600 yards. Trying to get just a couple here to get in the end zone and make it a one-touchdown game. Play fake, Blanton time. He throws, and did he hold on to it? Yes. Touchdown, San Diego State. Pittman, remarkable catch. Incredible grab by Wayne Pittman with bodies draped all over him. Holds on to it.
That was a great catch, and it was also a great throw on the money because he had to get it over number 22, Woody Green. Larry Cook was behind him, 37. He kind of sandwiched it in the middle, and Pittman with the great catch for the touchdown.
Here's the PAT. And the Aztecs rushing a player on at the last moment. 16 seconds left on the 25-second clock. And the ball drilled through, so the PAT is there. Yes, it's a one-touchdown game. Good news, Dogs have the lead, up by 7. 1:29 left in the game. And 91 points in this one, but the Dogs leading by 7. Look for the onside kick.
Yeah, you'll see the good hands team out there now in anticipation of that onside kick.
Before she was the material girl, she was just another pretty face. Tune in Tuesday night at 8 for the world premiere movie Madonna, Innocent Loss. Right here on your station, KMPH, Fox 26. Kevin?
Hey, Ralph.
Yeah, okay.
Question for you.
All righty.
Would this make
I have all the answers.
Would this make Boyd Grant happy? 49-42 ball game, a little slow.
Yeah, spread it around. Grant's too.
Game.
Sure.
But the clock isn't moving enough for Boyd Grant right now. He wants that clock to run down.
I understand Gary Colson's going to have you guys been talking about it. This could be a halftime score for the Dogs.
That's exactly right. He wants just the opposite. He wants to be the run-and-gun team of the WAC.
Kev, what does a game like this do if the Dogs hold on to win it? What does this one win mean for next year?
Oh, I think there's some excitement in the locker room and the seniors and the leadership that had already been talked about Charlie Jones and Stoutmeyer and guys taking a hold and saying, hey, let's lend these guys out winners. Let's now establish ourselves that we can win football games, and you got to learn how to win football games. Last week, Colorado State knew how to win a football game. They were on a roll. Fresno State should have won that football game a week ago.
Well, the Dogs trying to hold on to this lead, up by 7.
This is the play of the game right now. They recover this ball, and they can run out the clock. No timeouts left for San Diego.
Peter holds, bounces up, and taken by Roberson. He has it, and the Dogs in business. Fresno State with the lead with the ball. Brian Roberson comes up with it. He's had great hands tonight. Both he and Brown done an aerial act.
High fives from Richie Donati on his way to the sideline for Brian Roberson. As I said, the Bulldogs just simply have to run a couple of plays here because the Aztecs cannot stop the clock.
No timeouts remaining for San Diego State. 49-42. Fresno State looking to run the record to 5-7-1, 3-4-1 in the WAC. Aztecs will drop to 4-7 and 2-6 in the Western Athletic Conference. Again tonight, emotional, hard-fought. Two teams, both in search of a victory, needed it dearly with some very narrow defeats to some pretty good teams. And now they get together, the final game of the regular season, and Fresno State about 60 seconds away from emerging a winner. Donati tonight, 23 for 36 passing, 338 yards.
Well, he had a good night against Colorado State last week, and also a good night tonight. With those kind of receivers and the running performance of a guy like Reggie Brown, it just makes everyone's job that much easier.
Jim Sweeney will most definitely take it. His team has been frustrated with some injuries, inconsistent play.
They'll hit the recruiting trail hard in the offseason. They'll go to the junior colleges, look for some big defensive players who can come in right now. They're also going to build a new weight room, a big weight facility, 12,000 square feet, if at all possible. That's what they're shooting for. Triple the size of the one they have now, which will be a huge recruiting tool and will also help the football team physically.
Still thinking the team could have stayed healthy. Who knows? Beat BYU, and this team would have been headed for a bowl game.
Absolutely.
So that is it, folks. This one's over. Fresno State, a winner, 49-42. The Contel Cellular Player of the game is Reggie Brown. It's brought to you by Contel Cellular, your mobile link provider. And Reggie Brown, terrific job. Clutch performance with Jerome Oliver out. This guy, 161 yards on the ground.
I think something's going to happen here. They turn out all the lights. Watch out.
Yeah, they're getting ready, I think, for a fireworks display. And the Dogs had their own fireworks via this victory. Stay with us, folks. We'll be hearing from Jim Sweeney in just a few moments. Where are you, Jim? We're looking for you.
Down here.
Okay, there you are.
Help me, I've fallen, but I can't get up. They turned off the lights.
You use your pager, Kevin.
I'm tripping people with the cord. Here we go.
Do you know what your dad feels like?
I'm sure he's certainly very happy.
Where's his hands?
Here we go, over here in the dark.
All right, Fresno State a winner, 49-42 over San Diego State.
Well, we're going to be back in a moment. We're going to hopefully turn on the lights, and we'll be back in San Diego.
All right, sounds good. Back after these messages here on KMPH Fox 26.
Welcome back to Jack Murphy.